Tigers of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
And welcome to Woodward Tigers. I am Justin Satawa, and I am joined by Detroit Tigers beat reporter Nicholas Kohloff.
Let's go!
For Sunday night baseball against the Philadelphia Phillies. Nick, I know you are beaming with excitement over there in that chair, ready to microwave about the newly acquired Charlie Morton.
Let's
but first,
go!
We have to hit our friend Caesar Sportsbook. Use code Woodward 1000 for Nicholas's best bets as we are coming out firing out of the gate.
Fellas, so great to be here breaking down Sunday night baseball as we get to see one of the best teams in the American League take on one of the best teams in the National League. And that is where I am going tonight, as I have two best bets for you guys. One of them is playing with the brain and not the heart, because it is over strikeouts once again for the Philadelphia Phillies starter. And I am going, it is over 6.5 if we can get that Skywalker from Slack. I believe the swing and miss for the Detroit Tigers is going to be a little bit worrisome, and Christopher Sanchez is going to induce some strikeouts today, Justin. Over 6.5 feels like a very low number to me.
Well, you saw last night as Zach Wheeler was able to run up those Ks versus your Detroit Tigers, as so was Terry Skubal, as he had a historic pitching performance, to say the least, out-dueling in one of the best pitching duels we have seen in the entire season.
Phenomenal job from Tarek Skubal last night. It was everything that you wanted to see out of an ace. He is the leader on this team. He's the best player on this team. And like I said yesterday so much, I believe he's the best player in baseball, and that includes Judge and Ohtani. Tarek Skubal was phenomenal. He ended up giving up 3 in that 7th inning, but before that, he was absolutely cooking. So love that. And we got one guy for a big-time bet. This is a little bit playing with the heart here, Justin. We got this one was Christopher Sanchez over strikeouts. That is my best bet. But if you want to have some fun and go for gold on Sunday Night Baseball, Gleyber Torres to hit a nuke. Justin, how you feeling about it going up against the lefty?
I like it. I said that if I was picking someone to take a home run today, it would be Gleyber Torres. 4 home runs those last 6 games. He's really been swinging the bat well, especially to center field, as he's put 2 in the deck there in this series alone. I am excited to see what this Tigers lineup can do against an elite left-handed starting pitcher. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for joining us here at Woodward Tigers. We appreciate all your support. Make sure you smash that like button and hit the subscribe button as well if you're new here. We appreciate you all, as we are here to provide you your coverage for pregame, postgame, and in-game of the Detroit Tigers versus the Philadelphia Phillies. What are you most excited about this matchup, Nick?
I mean, it's got to be Charlie Morton. You get to see your new shiny toy at the trade deadline that you just went out and acquired for cash considerations. But this is a guy with extremely low expectations, Justin. There's just no other way around it in his 5.5 ERA. He has never pitched worse than he has this season in the MLB. And Charlie Morton, he has been an effective pitcher for many years in the MLB. 2 World Series under Charlie Morton's belt. We get, hopefully, good Charlie Morton today, as the Detroit Tigers need to turn back the clock a little bit. I'm excited to see what Chris Fetter can get out of the starter. I know your expectations probably aren't too high for Charlie.
I am not going to expect much, but as he is a crafty veteran in this league, you could see some life out of him, especially with Chris Fetter and a reduced role that he has not had in his entire career, because he has pitched in the big games. He is known for being one of the best starters in recent Atlanta Braves history, so you got to give him his dues for that. He did become one of their most consistent arms in a lot of their playoff runs. Shout out to Mike Reed. Why does everyone always be talking about the fact that we like to be suited up? I mean,
I think it's a good look, Justin. You're looking fresh as hell.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Your sweater is looking nice, as we are here to talk about this Detroit Tigers team. They are 4 minutes from first pitch. Nick, are you feeling confident in this bullpen as Kyle Finnegan showed how he can impact this team already in his first game. 4-pitch save for Kyle Finnegan.
Is it too early to say Kyle Finnegan's already the best arm in this bullpen? Is that a microwave take? Because Kyle Finnegan, to me, I have confidence in him, but Will Vest, the way he's pitching right now, zero confidence in Vest. Canely hasn't pitched the last 2 outings, so you're probably going to see him tonight. Not very confident in Canely. I liked what I've seen out of Herter recently, but Holton also going through some slumps. Not a great time to be a starting pitcher, and if you have a lead, you probably don't even feel confident in that lead, Justin.
I wouldn't say not confident because they were able to put him away yesterday with the great insurance runs they were getting offensively, and the bullpen didn't do a great job, but they did enough to get you over that finish line, to get you that Terrace Skubal start win, which you desperately needed. Now, you try to win the series 2-3 in Philly against their second best pitcher in their rotation. I would just really like to see the Tigers come out. Morton gives you a quality start, not asking for the world here. He can let up a couple runs, couple hits. It's going to happen. But if he can start by a quality start and giving this bullpen a chance to keep you in this ball game, the bats look like they can carry the weight even against this powerful Philadelphia Phillies lineup.
Yeah, this is an extremely tough matchup for the Tigers. There's just no other way around it, and that's why I'm going with the over strikeouts for Christopher Sanchez at over 6.5. He's got a 5 WAR already this season. He's a legitimate contender to win a Cy Young in the National League with a 2.55 ERA and a 9-3 record as he looks to tear up this Detroit Tigers lineup. And the Tigers were able to get some big-time homers last night. The mistakes were made by Zach Wheeler. The Tigers were able to capitalize, which they didn't do so when they were going through their big slump. Look for Sanchez. If he does make a couple mistakes, some of the righties in this lineup are going to have to capitalize.
Yes, they 100% are, and the lefties were the case yesterday as Colt Keith was an absolute monster for the Detroit Tigers. He had 2 singles and a beautiful home run in the same inning as Kerry Carpenter, as well as Wencel Perez getting the job done as well. What are you seeing from this mix of righty-lefty power that this Detroit Tigers is manufacturing in a platoon of different ways?
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about the guys that are on this roster to hit left-handed pitching. And those guys, to me, start with Ibanez and Jahmai Jones because those guys are legitimately just here to hit left-handed pitching. So that is their main job, and they have to do it tonight against one of the best lefties in all of baseball. But a couple more guys, righties in this lineup, that are able to do damage, one being your first baseman, Spencer Torkelson, and another guy is your second baseman, Gleyber Torres. Both of those guys have consistently hit lefty pitching all season long. So Spencer Torkelson, Gleyber Torres, and then a little bit of Ibanez and Jones. I'm thinking those guys are going to have to carry most of the weight tonight.
Ibanez has proven to be a big factor as he has entered from the Toledo into this Detroit lineup, and I love seeing that because he was a guy who was able to give you clutch hits down the stretch last year that you desperately needed in order to win some of those playoff baseball games. I think he is some much-needed support. And I see Weezy in the chat. Shout out to him. He said we look dapper, but on the same note, he says that I'm going to move the goalpost when it comes to the postseason. I have no doubt that we're going to have a good postseason where we're going to win a series. We might win 2, but when it comes to the ultimate prize, when it comes to the World Series, I'm just not all that confident that we're going to get it done in that regard. I do think we are a good playoff team, but that's it. We're not a good playoff team. We're a good playoff team. We're not a favorite, and that's what I wanted to do with the trade deadline. I wanted to cement us being a favorite. But as we are getting closer to the game, we're getting asked to shout out to Patrick Drods. He is wondering if Suarez from Philly is any good. Nick, Tigers beat reporter.
Suarez from Philly?
Sanchez. I think he meant Sanchez.
Yeah, Sanchez. Yeah, Sanchez is dominant. This is going to be a very tough matchup. There's no other way around it. That is why I am not taking a Tigers money line bet tonight because this is a very tall task for the Detroit Tigers tonight. But it is a task that we are going to have to deal with moving forward when we do play a Framber Valdez in Houston, when we do play a Max Fried of the Yankees. This Detroit Tigers team is going to have to handle legitimate lefty starters if they want to have postseason success. So to me, I think it's a big challenge, but one that the Tigers need to prove that they can handle.
Yeah, I think that winning these types of games would be helping me believe in this team winning big spots against big arms, and I think that is exactly the test that you're going to have today against Sanchez, who is a premier left-handed starting pitcher. You are seeing ESPN's bet. They do like Gleyber Torres for an RBI. They do like a couple others as Sanchez takes the mound for the Philadelphia Phillies as he is looking calm, cool, and collected. Bryce Harper, they're wearing the white pinstriped Philadelphia Phillies uniforms, and as you can see, they're showing the StatCast metrics on the screen as we can see it right now. 2.98 xERA, a 8.2 whiff percentage. Oh my God, 86 barrel rate. This guy is disgusting. 2.55 ERA. He has a 1.09 whip rate. To comparison to Terry Skubals. Skubals is 0.90. So he is cut from that same cloth of good, great, but not quite as elite as Tarek Skubal.
Yeah, definitely not on Skubal's level, but he is a dominant lefty, and I'm really excited to see the Detroit Tigers in this tough matchup against the Philadelphia Phillies. But I will say this, those jerseys are disgustingly filthy. I love that jersey from the Phillies right there, and that classic red Philly hat. That was actually one of the first hats I ever got of a different team. Philadelphia Phillies red hat. So,
shout out.
Fun
Well,
fact
I also do like the Phillies a little bit. I am a big Trey Turner fan. I was able to be in attendance for the World Baseball Classic when it was in Miami in 2023. Saw him hit the grand slam against Venezuela. It was one of the coolest baseball moments of my entire life. So I do like him a lot as a player. I also think Schwarber and Bryce Harper have two of the smoothest swings in the entire MLB. So I am excited for another marquee matchup as Sunday Night Baseball is about to be underway. Detroit Tigers versus the Philadelphia Phillies. And we are brought to you by Venn Johnson Law. Make sure if you're looking for a trial attorney, Venn Johnson will fight for you. That is VennFights.com if you need to get the power just like the Detroit Tigers will need against this tough Philadelphia Phillies team today.
Yeah, Matt Vierling getting the leadoff nod. Quite a decision from AJ. I don't know if I agree with this one, but you know what? He had a pretty good stroke last night. Let's see if he can keep it up.
Yes, the 0-0 to Vierling. Inside, strike one, 95-mile sinker is how Christopher Sanchez is going to start Matt Vierling's day.
Disgusting 549 OPS. Matt Vierling really needs to pick it up. Hopefully he can get on board for the Tigers and get some of that speed on the base pass.
Yes, sir. As to the 0-2 early on, Matt Vierling change up away as Detroit Tigers leadoff hitter is in a hole early.
Yep, not looking good there for Matty V. I mean, I don't want to say it, but 0-2.
And got him on strikes, waving. That is not a great leadoff at bat by Matt Vierling.
1, 2, 3. What are we doing here, Matty? What are we doing? Your manager puts faith in you, and you just get dusted that fast. That might be a little tease of what's to come today for some Christopher Sanchez, but that's already one strikeout of the 7 we need to smash that over.
Yes, and hopefully we don't have to endure that, unfortunately, as Gleyber Torres steps to the tin, 0-0 upstairs, called the strike right above the zone, looking like we're going to get a few looks like we did yesterday, as the umpiring yesterday was also not that great.
Yeah, Gleyber Torres, one of the best eyes in Major League Baseball. That was a ball there, clearly.
And 0-1 to Torres, inside sinker, 96. 0-2.
5 pitches, 5 strikes here, Justin. Not looking good, but I'm okay with Gleyber with 2 strikes. I feel comfortable with him here.
Yes, Gleyber Torres looks to capitalize. Great 2-strike hitter against Christopher Sanchez. 0-2 in play, light fly ball out to right field. Castellanos settles under it for the second out of the inning as Christopher Sanchez is cruising early.
Yeah, this is obviously not how you want to start a game here, Justin, but I'm going to try not to overreact. He's got plus 5.8 inches of drop versus similar velocity changeups, fourth most in Major League Baseball. That changeup's working for him early.
And Sanchez looks in on Jahmai Jones, the 0-0, right under a swinging Jahmai Jones, bottom of the strike zone. Another beautiful changeup by Christopher Sanchez.
Yep, yeah, that was a filthy changeup. I mean, 7 pitches, 7 strikes for the Philly starter.
And inside, almost hit him. 1-1 on the Detroit Tigers rookie Jahmai Jones.
Yep, Jahmai Jones, he is here to crush lefties. If he is going to make this postseason roster, he's going to have to continue to prove it.
And the 1-1 from Sanchez in on Jones. Waved right over it again. 1-2, another beautifully executed changeup looking very similar to Tarek Skubal's game plan yesterday against the Nationals.
Yeah, the Tigers definitely aren't seeing that pitch right now, Justin. They got to figure it out on that mark, but if I'm Christopher Sanchez, I'm probably sticking right with it at this point until they can prove to hit it.
Yes, I would believe he is thinking the same thing as he dials in with JT Realmuto, the Phillies catcher, the 1-2, and gets him swinging outside as Christopher Sanchez retires the Tigers 1-2-3 in a dominant display of starting pitching by the Phillies starter.
Yeah, that strikeout bet's looking like cash early in this one with the stuff that Sanchez has today. So I hope you guys made some money, because if we are going to see the Tigers struggle to get balls in play here today, at least you're cashing some cash, cashing some bets off of it. But tough start for the Detroit Tigers, no doubt about it.
Yes, that was not the best look, as you wouldn't like them to come out swinging like they did yesterday. But we're going to have to rely on the veteran starting pitching of Charlie Morton, as we will get the first glimpse of him in a Detroit Tigers uniform. And some players we're hoping to see in a Tigers uniform here soon are some of these prospects that Scott Harris has mentioned over the last couple days in some interviews. So I wanted to give Nick the chance to tell you about some of the illustrious prospects that Scott Harris held onto at this trade deadline in order to make sure that he can make flashy moves in the future. So here is Nick to hit you with some prospect knowledge.
Yep, Scott Harris talked to the media, and one of the questions that he was asked on, what did he pass on, basically, and Scott Harris had some very, interesting thoughts. We got a Skywalker, if you want to play that real quick, from Scott Harris, President Baseball Operations for the Detroit Tigers.
I will say that a lot of the moves we passed on felt like moves that were going to haunt us for many years to come. We have what we think is one of the best, if not the best, farm system in all of baseball. And that means we got really good players coming. We got really good players that are going to be fan favorites, that are going to be playing at Comerica Park for many years and helping us win a lot of games. And some of those guys are going to get there this year. And we felt like at this moment in time in this organization, giving up on young players to chase short-term fixes for this organization is not in the best interest of the Tigers, both in the short and long term.
And that is Detroit Tigers President of Baseball Operations, Scott Harris, on the moves that we passed on would haunt us for years to come from Scott Harris. And that's what I believe the trades that were on the table were for some elite players. Because if you're talking about getting haunted by moves that you didn't make or that you would have had to make, you got to think he's talking about his top guys there.
And Morton is back in for the Detroit Tigers. The first glimpse, rocking the number 5-0, as he has his entire career as Trey Turner steps in and takes ball 1.
Yep. Sanchez looked good. Morton's going to have to battle today.
1-0 hit on the ground to third base. Ibanez to Torkelson for the first out of the inning, as Charlie Morton starts his career in a good way for the Detroit Tigers.
Great to see early in this one for Charlie Morton to get that first out. Trey Turner, a pest on the base pass. So to keep him off of the bases, great spot there for the Detroit Tigers. And look for Charlie Morton to, he's got to stay in the zone. He cannot start walking hitters because the amount of damage he's given up this season has been scary as Schwarber just rips that slider.
Yes, he does, as 0-1 on Kyle Schwarber, as he comes into the game as one of the most feared power hitters in the entire National League, setting fear into opposing pitchers. Especially, he has tormented Charlie Morton a few times in his career with the Atlanta Braves, as the former Brave Charlie Morton steps in. 0-2, gets Schwarber swinging, fouls it away into the fans.
Yeah, Charlie Morton here ahead of Schwarber, 0-2, who is prone to a little bit of swing and miss, Kyle Schwarber, that is. So Schwarber's been dominant this season. He's third in the majors in home runs.
And Schwarber grounds to Gleyber Torres with the easy put out over to Spencer Torkelson, as the Tigers start the game with 2 straight outs.
Love to see this from Charlie Morton. That's exactly what you want to see from your Detroit Tigers starter. Both of them looked like a little bit of weak contact there, keeping the ball in the infield, as he's got probably the toughest matchup, and you know who it's against, Bryce Harper.
Yes, Bryce Harper steps in. He did some damage yesterday, as Morton 0-0 is swung on and fouled down the left field line, as the count will be 0-1 on Mr. Harper.
Good-looking fastball to see it up to 95 early in the first inning from Charlie Morton. The 41-year-old still has some gas.
Yes, he does, as Morton steps in. Fastball high, 1-1 count for Charlie Morton.
Yeah, it looks like you just had a missed pitch there, but 1-1 count on Bryce Harper. Excited to see him continue to attack him.
Another guy who is well known to Morton in his career is Bryce Harper, as he fouls another pitch away to make it 1-2, as Charlie Morton has made it a factor going after hitters early in his counts.
Yep, that breaking ball looked like it had really good life to it. I'm excited to see this continue for Charlie Morton, and it's going to be key to getting out left-handed hitters.
Yes, it is, as Morton winds to deliver, and a swing and a drive by Bryce Harper down the right field line. A base hit, could be 2, as he rounds first and has a stand-up double, as the Philadelphia Phillies have some life with 2 outs in the first inning.
Looked like they tried to go high fastball there, and Bryce was not fooled whatsoever, as he just leaves that one. He left that one up. That was middle.
That's a good piece of hitting right there for Bryce Harper, bringing his hands in like that and really just doing what you got to do on an inside pitch, taking it to right field. That's just textbook right there.
That's a miss from Charlie Morton for sure. I would have, if he is going to throw the fastball there, he's got to get it above the zone, as Bryce Harper's in scoring position as the Tigers look to, obviously strand him here, which would be big.
Yes, as Morton steps in on the rubber for Realmuto. First pitch fouled away, fastball 96 outside part of the plate.
Charlie Morton with his first test, as I don't know what exactly we're seeing here.
As the ESPN broadcast is showing off some AI Bryce Harper imaging on his route to second base. Don't know why he couldn't just show us the actual camera video of it, but hey, that's your opinion, as Charlie Morton hits another outside fastball, same spot as the last 3 pitches to JT Realmuto, 2 pounds, 0-2 on the former All-Star catcher JT Realmuto.
Big spot here for Morton. Obviously, he got down to 2 strikes on Harper, and he left one up. Let's see if he gets that slider down low and away here.
And Morton's 0-2, grounded to Spencer Torkelson, as he will put away the Philadelphia Phillies for the first inning, as the Detroit Tigers strand Bryce Harper on second base. The Detroit Tigers 0, the Philadelphia Phillies 0.
Love to see this from Charlie Morton, as he did go to that slider away, and he was able to induce weak contact from JT Realmuto, and big-time spot right there for the 41-year-old veteran. He's been around the block. He knows how to attack big league hitters, and you're going to have to see it today with that slider away. I'm expecting that to be a really important pitch for Charlie Morton. He did leave the fastball up to Bryce Harper, but luckily kept it in the ballpark, as the Detroit Tigers look to get the early lead in this one, as Sanchez was looking dominant as well.
And due up for the Detroit Tigers is Spencer Torkelson, Riley Green, and Andy Ibanez. How do you feel about Riley Green's recent move down to the 6-hole for the 5-hole down for the Detroit Tigers?
I mean, going up against a tough lefty, I think it's a smart move to take a little bit off of Riley Green's plate. And I think that's what you're clearly seeing with this move, especially going up against a lefty in Sanchez. Riley Green has struggled to hit lefties for any power this season, and he's honestly struggled to hit them just in general. So to put him down in the lineup at 5, I think it's a smart move by, I believe, the best manager in all of baseball, A.J. Hinch, to take a little bit of pressure off of the 24-year-old two-time All-Star.
Yep, I do agree with you, as he has struggled slightly against lefties this year, as has been well documented. Leads the league in strikeouts as well. Not the greatest stat to lead in terms of Riley Green, but it is what it is. He still is the best hitter on this Detroit Tigers lineup. What would you like to see from your Tigers this inning?
You got to see Spencer Torkelson. I mean, going up against an elite pitcher like this, you're going to have to look to do damage and do damage early. If he gets down to 2 strikes, watch out for Sanchez and that just nasty changeup that he's already been throwing. So I would look for him to be ready early in the count to attack Sanchez. And then a guy like Riley Green, I mean, he has a 604 OPS versus left-handed pitching compared to his 947 OPS against righties. So for Riley Green, I believe it's shorten up that swing a little bit and take the ball to left field. Go opposite with it. I think when Riley's at his best, he's putting it at all parts of the ballpark, not just trying to hit that big home run to right field.
I completely agree with you, as Spencer Torkelson will look to make a big impact on this game. His first pitch from Christopher Sanchez is swung on and ripped into left field. One hopper, as that will be a base hit for Spencer Torkelson, as he is a guy who you will need to have some success against left-handed pitching down the stretch.
Love to see that from Torque there. Just spoke on it. Want to see him attack early because you're in trouble if you get down to 2 strikes. So Spencer Torkelson swinging first pitch after Sanchez was trying to get ahead of him. Love to see it early for Spencer Torkelson and this Detroit Tigers team. Now let's see if Riley can, put a ball to left field here.
Here we go. Riley Green steps in against Christopher Sanchez. The 0-0 inside. That is not even remotely close, but called a strike. The umpiring in the past couple games for your Detroit Tigers has not been at the peak of umpiring.
That was just a clear ball. There was just no other way to put it.
And the 0-1 is a swing and a wave by Riley Green on a changeup outside. Riley struggling on pitches low and away against left-handed pitching.
Yep, tough one right there. He's got to be able to wait on that, and that's when I talk about one that I would like to see him move to left field, is Riley's in a tough spot.
And the 0-2 to Riley Green, and he swings over another beautiful changeup by Christopher Sanchez for his 3rd K of the ball game. Christopher Sanchez asserting dominance over the left-handed pitching or hitting of this Detroit Tigers lineup.
Yeah, Riley Green, no chance there. I mean, it's just we are so accustomed to it at this point. It's Riley Green striking out, and he K's a lot against lefties. Is Andy Ibanez is going to have to be a big spot right here.
As he fouls away strike 1, as he is also down early against Christopher Sanchez. He has come into this lineup coming up from AAA and has made an impact early. Hopefully he can continue his streak as the 0-1 comes. Outside ball, another changeup from Christopher Sanchez, who is 48% likely to throw a changeup on this next pitch. I love having these metrics on the screen, to be completely honest. Here is Christopher Sanchez, steps in, Ibanez, calm, collected, 0-1-1, swing and a miss right over the top of it. Wow. Changeup low, absolutely fooled him.
That pitch is nasty, Justin. The Tigers cannot pick up on that changeup right now. I got to say, they're in a tough spot. Andy Ibanez really has to hold on in there and wait for that changeup, but they look just fooled every time they're seeing it early.
Yes, they are dealing with a brutal changeup, as Christopher Sanchez is one of the best in the game. And as Ibanez waves the bat in 1-2, good piece of hitting, but it is grounded right to the second baseman, as the flip back from Trey Turner is not in time for a fielder's choice from Andy Ibanez.
Yup, gotta hold of that one a little bit to the second baseman. They're not unable to turn the double play, but Andy Ibanez kind of staying in on that changeup. He just wasn't able to finally get that ball in right field. But I do like the idea of going away with that pitch on that changeup. You're gonna have to wait on it. I do like he tried to go away there. He just was unable to.
Trey Turner just trying to blow a bubble while flipping that double play.
I don't know. Dylan Dingler.
Dylan Dingler steps to the dish, ground ball to Edmundo Sosa, flips it over to Bryce Harper, and that will end the Philadelphia Phillies day in the field. And the Detroit Tigers strand Spencer Torkelson on first base after a beautiful swing from the young power hitter.
Yeah, I mean, tough spot right there. Christopher Sanchez looks absolutely dialed in right now. And I would say, that changeup looks really hard to beat. But I know we talked about Scott Harris and him not wanting to give up some of his top prospects. There was a top prospect in the Tigers organization that had an absolute bomb last night. If we could play that here real quick, Scott Walker.
Yeah, you want the audio on that?
Yeah, I think you're good.
They look at first.
This is shortstop Kevin McGonigal.
2-2.
Bang!
Drive
That's such
to
a
right.
fluid swing.
If it stays
You can totally see
fair,
how
that
that can
ball
translate
is
major
a
league
home
swing,
run.
major league distance on that one.
Number
Kevin
2.
McGonigal
It's
is
a brand
not
new
just
game at
one of
2.
the best prospects in the Tigers organization, but he's one of the best prospects in all of baseball who could make his debut even as early as this season. It sounds crazy, but Kevin McGonigal will turn 21 in August, and he could make his debut this season to help this team win games in October.
Kevin McGonigal is such an intriguing prospect to me, especially with the way that Scott Harris was able to navigate this trade deadline. It really told me that he is thinking that these prospects will be here sooner rather than later, including even hinting at that in his Zoom interviews that you played earlier in the broadcast. I believe that I do expect that McGonigal to make some kind of impact down the stretch here as the rosters do expand for the postseason. I think that Kevin McGonigal has the potential to help you in this run, considering he could be a bat that is able to get hot coming out of the gate, especially when pitchers don't know how to pitch him.
Tearing up Double-A baseball this year so far, and I gotta say, Kevin McGonigal has been dominant. He's hitting .335 in the minor leagues with an over 1,000 OPS. You're talking about elite stuff from the Detroit Tigers' future shortstop. And talking about elite, this guy walks more than he strikes out. He has 35 walks compared to 31 Ks. He's ripping a double, it seems like, every night, as he has 28 this season in 58 games. Kevin McGonigal is one of the brightest prospects in all of baseball.
Yep, and Charlie Morton has looked bright tonight as he blows a curveball by Nick Castellanos, the former Detroit Tiger.
Look for Charlie to continue to get ahead in these counts here. Gonna have to against some of these elite hitters.
And 0-1 for Morton, low and inside, 95 mile an hour on the inside hip of Brandon Marsh. Nick Castellanos.
As they're showing off.
And Castellanos drives a ball into center field that is going to be down for a single as Castellanos starts the Phillies off early in the second inning.
Yeah, right there from Nick Castellanos going just center cut up the middle. It's Charlie Morton. He was not fooled on that breaking ball right there.
No, he was not. And don't be a fool and don't subscribe or like this channel. We appreciate all you guys here. Shout out to some of the chat here. My dad's in chat, and the 0-0 is a ball down to Brandon Marsh in the dirt from Charlie Morton. Shout out to Anakin Skywalker as well. OG of the chat. As Brandon Marsh strokes his beard as he steps in 1-0 against Charlie Morton. Another acquisition by the Philadelphia Phillies in the recent years from the Los Angeles Angels, as Morton sends a center cut fastball driven to right field by Brandon Marsh, as this is going to be extra bases and a jam for Charlie Morton, as it will be second and third, nobody out for this dangerous Philadelphia Phillies lineup with Max Kepler coming to the plate, former Minnesota Twin.
Back-to-back big hits there from the Phillies as Marsh in that nasty, gnarly beard get on base in this one. That thing was, I don't know about that beard right there, but I got to say, this is a tough spot for Charlie Morton. You do not want to get down early in this game, especially with Sanchez on the other side and the way he's pitching, Justin.
No, you do not. You saw how dangerous that was yesterday with Tarek Skubal as Morton sets in on Kepler. Kepler sends a dribbler down the first base line to start him off 0-1.
Yeah, it's extremely tough spot here for the Tigers. There's no other way around it. He's going to have to battle. I think you're happy if you come out of this only giving up 1 run.
Yep, I completely agree. As Morton, it's 0-1 as a foul ball to the right side as well up the first baseline. Kepler is already in a defensive hitting mode for the Philadelphia Phillies. Hopefully, Charlie Morton will be able to capitalize and get this much-needed first out of the inning with the Phillies threatening.
Be a big-time spot to try to get the strikeout, obviously, with guys on second and third so they don't advance. As it looks like fly ball to left field, Riley going out. No.
And it is out of play as the count will remain 0-2 on Max Kepler.
Tough spot for Charlie. I mean, they just did damage on those 2 pitches. There's no other way around it. So let's see if Charlie Morton can get the big strikeout here. As if you guys are new here, this is Woodward Tigers Live. Make sure to smash that like button as we will break down all the Tigers games on Saturdays and Sundays.
As Morton sets 0-2 dribbler for Kepler up the first base side one more time.
KJ says we could have had Merrill, man. Would have liked to see him out there instead of Charlie Morton, I will say, Justin.
I do completely agree. Nick, you know my stance, as it looks like Kepler might have been hit on that pitch. Does not look like it is. It will be 1-2 for Charlie Morton as he looks to deal his way out of this jam versus Max Kepler. Max Kepler known for his crafty hitting, which you are seeing on display right now as he battles through this tough at-bat with Charlie Morton.
Looking like the framing metric is 95th percentile for Dylan Dingler and 98th in blocks above average.
That's what you want to see from your rookie catcher, showing off his promise as the 1-2 is up to make it 2-2 as Kepler continues to milk Charlie Morton for everything that he's got. Morton's 2-2. He sets in and a dribbler to second base for Gleyber Torres, who feeds it over to Spencer Torkelson. It will score Nicholas Castellanos, though, as the Philadelphia Phillies take a 1-0 lead over the Detroit Tigers.
Does his job there as the infield not playing in. What do you think about that decision from A.J. Hinch to have the guys in regular defense besides the third baseman?
What did you say? One more time.
You're good. The defensive layout right there didn't have the infield in. Would you have liked to see AJ kind of get aggressive there, or are you okay with that?
I am okay with that. I think that's a tough play to make either way. If you're in, I think Torres would have had to make a diving effort, and I don't believe that sacrificing 1 run is that bad this early in a ball game with how good the Tigers' offense has been in this series. As Edmundo Sosa is down 0-1 to Charlie Morton as he attempts to pitch out of his first high-pressure situation as the Detroit Tigers acquired this week during the trade deadline for the Detroit Tigers.
Trade for cash considerations for Charlie Morton.
And the 0-1 saws him off as it's going to have a chance to be played by Dylan Dingler in foul ground. He makes the play as the Detroit Tigers are able to make the second out of the inning.
Big spot right there. That was a big out. Dylan Dingler making a great play behind the in the foul territory there for the Detroit Tigers. So Charlie Morton looks to strand a runner on third, and this is a big-time breakdown if he's able to get out of this inning just with the 1 run.
That would be a dream for Charlie Morton because, like I said in the pregame show, you don't need him to go out there and do too much. You just need him to give you a quality start, as he does not give you a quality start to Bryson Stout's at-bat as he throws a 1-0 pitch in the other's batter's box as he is looking to pitch his way out of this jam. The 1-0 from Morton inside, curveball 82 just outside the corner of the plate. I believe I've seen that pitch. Couldn't call a strike twice today. We can check the footage on that later.
Yeah, just not giving it to Charlie Morton though. But yeah, this is a big spot for Charlie. He's got to get out of this inning with just the 1 run.
And down early as he steals a strike right there. 2-1 count on Bryson Stout. Bryson Stout's hard hit rate has been declining over the last 4 years of his career. Hopefully, Morton can take advantage of that here. Tough matchup for him as he is worse against left-handed hitters than right. And Stout flails and pops one up into foul territory, not in the reach of Andy Ibanez.
Big spot for Charlie. We've seen that big curveball from him right now. It's saying 51% probability of the curveball here. I would like to see him. I would like to see the curve here, I'd say.
I hope we do, and it's a good one as he's going to need it to put away Bryson Stott. The 2-2, Charlie Morton sets, breeze, throws low in the dirt, feeding the worms there. He did not go as well. Curveball in the dirt was exactly what you did expect, Nick, but to no success.
No success. 3-2 count. Tough spot for Charlie here. He's going to have to attack him. You can't be walking hitters and trying to strand the Philadelphia Philly on third base. It would be a big for this team's momentum moving forward, but if they get 2 runs early, that's going to be a tough task.
And Morton's 3-2, 2 Stout is fouled away behind the back screen. Give it to a fan. Hopefully he caught it as the Morton-Stout battle will continue 3-2. Bottom of the second, Philadelphia Phillies have already cashed in 1 run in this inning, leading 1-0 over your Detroit Tigers, hoping to strand the Philadelphia offense with 1 on third base. 3-2 for Morton, fouled away. Stott continues to battle as Charlie Morton is looking to pitch out of this difficult situation.
Yeah, tough spot there for Morton as it's a 3-2 count, back-to-back foul balls. It looks like Stott's seeing him well right now, but you do like the fact that he is attacking him and not shying away from him and walking him.
I would completely agree, Nick, as I think Charlie Morton would agree to a nice strikeout here if he could get it. The pitch to Stout is driven into left center field as, Riley Green makes an insane web gem catch. Holy crap, he reached out full extension with the backhand snag. Charlie Morton, tip the cap to your brand new teammate. That was one of the best catches I may have ever seen in my entire life.
That was an unbelievable grab from Riley Green right there. As he just Superman full extension on the dive there from Riley Green. Love to see it. And I got to say, back-to-back games here, Justin. Riley Green is helping out his pitching staff, and that was incredible. Can we give him the gold glove right now?
It's the stubble. Got rid of the beard, got a little bit of stubble.
Yeah. A little more aura for Riley, beardless.
There we go.
That was absolutely nuts. What a catch. The amount of athleticism that takes to do the full extension, the full backhand flip of the wrist. What a play by the Detroit Tigers left fielder Riley Green. Like you said, 2 web gems in a row for Riley Green. Wow, Nick, he is really proving your gold glove take in a positive light right now.
He is everywhere in left field. The Detroit Tigers didn't want him playing center field this season because of injury risk. What he is doing with his body right now, the last 2 days, I'm a little concerned for his longevity out there, but if he's able to, obviously not get hurt, these are incredible catches that Riley Green is making night in and night out for the Detroit Tigers. And you're going to need it because a guy that was supposed to be, in the outfield and helping this team win a lot of games with his defense is Parker Meadows, and he is hurt currently. So Riley is going to need to, get more range from the left field spot, which he was able to do right there.
And even when he was in the lineup, he was not able to wake up his bat in ways that we had him last year, as he was pretty critical in that win against the Houston Astros in the playoffs. He hit a huge home run, as you do remember, and he made plenty of great defensive plays in your outfield. I think how do you think the versatility that this Tigers team has been used over this entire year, the ebbs and flows, the change? You went from Javi in center to Trey Sweeney being your starting shortstop to now Javi's your starting shortstop and Trey Sweeney's in the minors. Now you have Vierling in center or Wenzel in center, Riley in center sometimes. How are you feeling about the ebbs and flows? And we will talk about that as Wenzel Perez steps into his first at-bat of the day, really showing his quality over this last couple game stretch. He's been having a hot bat, to say the least. Christopher Sanchez is 0-0 to Wenzel inside, 85-mile-an-hour changeup. That was a slider, showing his quality per usual as he is going right after Wenzel Perez and this Detroit Tigers lineup.
Going to attack him right here. That's what you've seen from Sanchez.
Christopher Sanchez pitches and Wenzel drives it in right field as Castellanos will drift to his left to make the easy grab in right field to put the first Tigers hitter away.
21 pitches through 2 1/3 for Sanchez as he is looking to go deep in this ball game. And the Detroit Tigers are going to have to continue to swing early in these counts if he's just going to put it right there for him, because if they get down to 2 strikes, that wicked changeup is going to be a put-out pitch.
Wicked is the way I would describe Javier Baez's home run yesterday as he steps up to the plate and takes a 0-0 ball sinker outside from Christopher Sanchez. It was definitely contemplated that was a strike by the Blue there.
Yeah, love to see us not get shafted on another call there.
As Javier Baez takes the 1-0 inside for a strike changeup, 84 miles an hour. That thing is moving and grooving down the pitcher's mound.
1-1 count for Javi. Make sure you guys smash that like button if you are new here, and super chats are welcome. We will read them aloud on the show.
And the 1-1 is a ball away sinker just outside the zone. Javi coming in with a more patient approach than we have seen in the last couple games, really taking those outside pitches. It's been very nice to see from 2-8.
Great to see you.
2-1 in on Javi is a strike. 85 mile an hour, 95 mile an hour sinker on the inner half, touching the inside corner of the inside part of the plate.
As the pitch predictor, change up 58% here. That's what I would go with against Javier Baez, low and away. Javier Baez, I would like to see him stay on that changeup, try to put it out to maybe right center field for a little double.
I would love to see that as well as the 2-2 from Christopher Sanchez. Got him swinging, changeup, got him swinging the oar right there. Tough look for Javier Baez.
Exactly what I envisioned right there, but it was just Javi not getting a hold of it because that pitch is just nasty right now. What we're seeing out of Sanchez is he racks up another strikeout. Is that over? Is looking like it's going to get smashed, that over 6.5 bet.
It is looking that way. You have been on it with your best bets. Shout out to Caesar Sportsbook. Make sure you use code Woodward1000 as Christopher Sanchez throws an inside slider as Matt Vierling sends it to the seats as a souvenir, as it will be 0-1 on the recently activated Matt Vierling.
Yeah, Matt Vierling still hasn't been able to get it going this season. You got to get him back to good Matt that you saw last season. That was a big spark for this Detroit Tigers team, but you just truly haven't seen it this season out of Matt Vierling. He needs to recoup some of the magic that he had last year when he was helping this team go on such a special run.
I completely agree, and they have talked about how key his veteran presence is in that locker room. You're going to need something out of him this season as he takes ball 2-1 from Christopher Sanchez as he starts ahead in this count. Make sure if you guys are enjoying the program, you like, subscribe, and if you want to make sure we read your comments, super chats are the way to go. As Matt Vierling sends a infield pop-up to Stout as he puts the Tigers away in the third inning.
And that's what you've seen so often from Matt Vierling this season, Justin. He is missing on pitches in the zone. He is unable. He's coming up empty on all of the misses. And Matt Vierling, I mean, it's just been extremely underwhelming right now. I got you. And I just am in shock, to be quite honest, because I have not seen such a big drop-off before like Matt Vierling is currently having this season. They just had the numbers on the broadcast. He's hitting .213 right now. It's not going to cut it being an everyday player for this Detroit Tigers team. He has a minus 0.3 WAR. Matt Vierling just has not recouped any of the success that he had last season when he was able to hit a 735 OPS last year. That number's dropped down to 549 prior to this game. And with Parker Meadows being out, Matt Vierling's the guy that's really going to have to step up. And if he doesn't, and he's unable to, one of the guys that we talked about earlier, Kevin McGonigal, getting moved to shortstop, possibly for the big league team, would allow Javier Baez to be your starting center fielder, maybe in the first Detroit Tigers playoff game, which sounds like an insane take, but with the level of talent that Kevin McGonigal has and has proven to hit at every single level, and Javier Baez's good defense in center field, and right now a way better bat than Matt Vierling, I think it's a realistic possibility that you could see that come September.
It's plain and simple. We need someone to step up. Vierling's just got to do it. We're coming towards the tail end of the season. We need a guy that is going to go in there and, play well for us. And Vierling has to be this guy.
Yeah, I'm with you, Skywalker. I think you just hit the nail. And it's just, it sucks to see from Matt Vierling, to be quite frank. And, I mean, it's not even like Parker Meadows was lighting the world on fire prior to as well. So Parker Meadows and Matt Vierling both being injured before the season even started has really affected their play. And there's no other way to put it. But hopefully with Javier Baez being able to play some center field, which is insane to say, but he has proven, I think. I mean, he was starting in the All-Star game, Justin.
I completely agree. As Trey Turner steps to the dish, he has not hit a home run at home this year as he fouls away the first pitch. 95-mile-an-hour sinker, Spencer Torkelson slides, and is unable to make the catch.
Big spot for Charlie Morton. Had that really tough inning, last one, in terms of just pitch count and having to deal with high-pressure situations. So Charlie Morton to look for an easier inning, but it's tough matchup going up against
Charlie
the top.
Morton deals the 0-1, gets Trey Turner waving on an outside curveball way out of the zone. Beautiful pitch right there by the crafty veteran.
Yeah, good spot right there. That curveball is nasty when it's on, so let's see if he bounces back.
And got him on strikes. Charlie Morton sends Trey Turner packing as he puts him away with the backwards K.
Nasty curveball there from Charlie Morton. Just completely froze Trey Turner, and the Tigers look to be rolling as that ball was definitely in the zone. I don't know what the hell Trey Turner was trying to argue there for the Philadelphia Phillies shortstop.
I do not know either as Charlie Morton deals 0-0 curveball outside to Kyle Schwarber.
Shout out everybody in the chat checking us out tonight. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Share it with your grandma. Share it with your grandpa.
As Grandpa Morton deals 2-0 to start on the dangerous left-handed bat of Kyle Schwarber.
Yep. Top 5 in home runs. Charlie Morton cannot make a mistake over the plate, or this might go 40 rows up and right.
2-0 for Morton inside. Did he get him? He did. It will be 2-1 for Charlie Morton on the power-hitting Kyle Schwarber.
I got Kyle Schwarber on my fantasy team here, Justin. I like him as a player a lot. I think he has just
Morton's 2-1 to your favorite fantasy player. Did not go as the change curveball in the dirt did not fool Kyle Schwarber as he thinks he got hit by that pitch as he tries walking to first base.
What the hell?
And a little mix of feelings from the umpire. Oh, and it did hit him as he has been given first base on a bean ball.
Can't be rooting for Schwarber. That's fake band stuff right there.
Yeah, Nick, you can't. You trying to get your credential taken?
It's not betting.
I'm kidding.
Jesus Christ. Just ridiculous. No. Yeah.
I better never see this guy on a field.
Where did that hit him? I didn't even see that hit his foot.
Yeah, that was a ridiculous call there. Kyle Schwarber walking that off. I think he's telling Torkelson that ball didn't hit me.
That ball didn't hit me.
As he gets to first base, as he is.
As Harper steps in upstairs, Charlie Morton misses his first pitch to Bryce Harper, the high school phenom, one of the best high school prospects to ever come out of in the high school prospect system, I believe.
Oh, definitely. Bryce Harper, I mean, he came up with the Washington Nationals, ended up going to the Philadelphia Phillies. But Bryce Harper's had a hell of a career. I think he has certainly lived up to all the hype that he had coming out.
Yes, he did, as Morton deals to the superstar. Swing and a miss. Curveball, low and in. Nice piece of pitch in there. Starts in the zone. Tails just out with the curveball. A beautiful piece of pitching right there from Charlie Morton. As we are overanalyzing him in his first start as a Tiger. 1-1 Harper is a fouled line drive down the left field line.
Yep, Bryce Harper, 1-2 count here for the Detroit Tigers. Charlie Morton, starter, to go attack him with that curveball. As we got a little fly flying around the studio.
As the flies are not going to be going tonight, hopefully for Charlie Morton, as he throws a mistake in the middle of the plate. Harper does not make him pay right there.
Got lucky on that one, Justin. There's no other way to spin that one, but that was a ball that Bryce Harper could annihilate, and luckily he didn't. So would like to see try to get a little rollover to second base here and try to get out of this inning with a double play.
I agree with you. That would be nice, as Morton is looking the same thing. Ground ball, Torkelson to Javi. Javi over to first base. Morton covers for the double play.
Let's
as
go!
The Detroit Tigers are able to escape the third inning with no runs, as the Philadelphia Phillies lead the Detroit Tigers 1-0 here on Woodward Sports. Nicholas Kohloff, Detroit Tigers beat reporter. How are you feeling about Charlie Morton so far, as he has thrown 3 innings of work and looked pretty decent doing so?
Looked pretty damn good. I mean, you just got one of the best hitters in baseball to roll over there for a big double play. So love to see that from Charlie Morton, especially after calling for a double play. So love to see that from the Detroit Tigers' new starter, who is 41 years old. And for those of you that remember this Detroit Tigers team, they had a special pitcher in 2006 who was 41 years old, and he turned back the clock and he helped the Tigers win some games. And his name was Kenny Rogers. Hopefully Charlie Morton can bring a similar spark to this Detroit Tigers team.
That's an insane comp.
It wasn't the comp. I said hopefully he can bring the spark.
Okay,
I'm not saying he's Kenny Rogers. I mean, Kenny Rogers is a lefty too, but no, I'm saying hopefully he can bring some of that veteran.
I thought you were predicting that he is going to be that spark. You're saying he could be.
I'm saying
those are two different things.
That's what they're looking for him to be that 41-year-old key veteran that they brought in, who has 2 World Series under his belt.
But I don't think they're asking him to be Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers was pretty damn good in that 06 run.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying the veteran of leadership of Kenny Rogers is what they're looking for from the 41-year-old. I am not comparing him now in his game to Kenny Rogers.
No,
that's all I was making sure of, because that would have been an insane comp.
And for those of you that that remember, he had the pine tar, Kenny Rogers. You remember that one? As he got thrown out of a baseball game for putting some pine tar on his hand. So,
hey,
crazy.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying. I'm just kidding. How do you feel about that pine tar era of baseball, where we were seeing all of these players showing you, especially guys like Trevor Bauer, literally taking you through the process, that it wasn't even pine tar at points, it was literally just sweat and rosin, and you could add that massive spin rate to your stuff. How do you feel? Do you feel like there is still some element of that in the game with the rosin, because you can still use rosin legally?
I think it was a crazy time when they had the spider tack as well, the sticky tack that they were able to use for their pitches. And I think it has affected how some of these starters truly are able to maneuver a lineup, with the spin rates being a little bit down because they were able to inject it for a lot of their breaking balls. And you think about a sinker, it was able to get more spin and more drop on it. I think you saw hitters kind of take advantage of some of the pitchers and that ability not to use it.
Well, Gleyber Torres takes advantage of an 0-0 pitch and sends it to left field for a base hit to lead off the 4th inning for the Detroit Tigers, as they are looking to get after Chris Sanchez if he is throwing a mistake.
Love to see it from Gleyber Torres. That is our 2nd time having the leadoff guy on now for the Detroit Tigers. So let's hopefully we can get, Gleyber Torres in here and get this ball game tied at 1.
As Jahmai Jones, the lefty killer, steps in for your Detroit Tigers, looking to do some damage and start a nice rally as the 0-0 inside changeup low by the toes.
One shot right here for, Jahmai Jones going up against the lefty. This is why he's here. He's got to be able to hit lefties or he's not going to be in this lineup in October.
Yep, and this is the perfect chance, too, against a big-time lefty as the big lefty throws. Base hit
Let's
is
go!
right through the gap between first and second as Gleyber Torres halts at second base. Oh, that was tight. He may have just been thrown out, but he is called safe.
What are we doing, Gleyber?
Gleyber with a little bit of a rare base running mistake as he rounds second a little too hard and is caused for pause to run back. Jahmai Jones, good piece of hit and shooting it out into right field as it appears Gleyber Torres did get back in time to beat that throw back in as he will stay at second base as the Detroit Tigers are threatening the Philadelphia Phillies 1-0 lead at the moment as they have Christopher Sanchez right where they want him in the heart of their order against Spencer Torkelson, who already put a beautiful swing on the first at-bat of his night as he takes a first ball of his second plate appearance.
Massive spot here for the Detroit Tigers. They got one of their best hitters up against left-handed pitching right here with the guys on first and second as Torkelson's looking to do damage here ahead of the count.
And Arf says, I was switching the mojo by taking the jacket off. I sure hope Spencer Torkelson jumps on that mojo as he waves at a low-cut changeup to make it 1-1.
Yeah, that was a big-time miss there from Spencer Torkelson. That was a ball that he could have done damage on. It looked like he was way ahead of that changeup early.
That was a fishing pole cast right there from Spencer Torkelson as Christopher Sanchez throws a low changeup torque, takes down the left field line foul as he battles through this at-bat.
Spencer Torkelson currently hitting .976 against left-handed pitching in terms of his OPS with a .273 average. So I don't know if you want anybody else up here. You know, I don't think there's a better spot for anybody else. Spencer Torkelson has to stay on that changeup, though.
As Christopher Sanchez checks Gleyber Torres at second base, low changeup down in the zone as Spencer Torkelson steps out, takes a breath, and resets for the 2-2.
Big spot here for Torkelson. Like I said, going to have to stay on that changeup, low and away. Look for him to get this ball down into right field.
As Spencer Torkelson loads as Chris Sanchez delivers a low changeup, another foul ball for Spencer Torkelson, continuing to battle through this at-bat against the power-throwing lefty, who already has amounted 4 Ks on the day.
4 Ks on the day for Sanchez, 38 pitches in the fourth inning here. Guys on first and second. Tigers trying to cook up a early run as Torkelson looking to stay in against the lefty.
Yes, this is the guy you would like up there with the 900 OPS against left-handed pitching as he takes strike 3 as a Christopher Sanchez delivers a beautiful sinker in the bottom of the zone that Spencer Torkelson did not see well off the hand, and he will send back to the clubhouse for a film session on how to hit a low sinker off Chris Sanchez.
Just can't have that there from Spencer Torkelson. I think being fooled right there, just not a good look for the guy that needs to crush lefties.
And a guy who we would love to figure out some left-handed pitching is Riley Green as he grounds right back to the pitcher for a double play as Detroit Tigers' early offensive attack crumples 2-0 in the top of the fourth inning as they are not able to capitalize on first and second no outs and will be retired with another great performance by Christopher Sanchez, who is completely putting this Tigers lineup at bay.
Death taxes Riley Green grounding into a double play against a left-handed pitcher. That was a tough spot for Riley. Christopher Sanchez made that one look easy, and you get guys on first and second base against a guy like Christopher Sanchez. You have 2 of your best players up to the plate, and you come away with a strikeout looking and a double play, weak contact off the ball for Riley Green. Not a good look for 2 of the, brightest players on this Detroit Tigers team.
I would completely agree with you, Nick. I think that this team is not taking the quality at bats through 1 through 9 that you would like to see against a pitcher of this quality. I think you're getting some very professional at bats from some players. Some players have been able to succeed off some early mistakes thrown by Christopher Sanchez, but the totality of this lineup is not taking quality at bats.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you get back-to-back hits to start. You're expecting to score some runs in that inning. And I think when the 9th inning comes around, we're going to be talking about the missed opportunity in the top of the 4th inning as the Detroit Tigers failed to, hop on and really maneuver those guys around bases. I think Spencer Torkelson striking out looking at a pitch middle fucking bottom of the zone, and then Riley Green hitting into a double play. I mean, it's just a tough spot to be for the Detroit Tigers because those opportunities are not going to be there all game.
No, they will not be, as we are going to see another brutal part of this Philadelphia Phillies lineup as Realmuto, Castellanos, and Brandon Marsh will take the plate. And I'm hoping that the narrative as this game continues to wind down is not the fact that we are continued to be worried about this team's ability to hit elite left-handed pitching.
We got Thomas in the chat with Riley is Adam Dunn. That is an insane comparison. Mark says they're struggling.
Look at that extension by Riley Green. I cannot wait to actually go analyze how he was able to make that catch in the 2nd inning. It was beautiful. As a beautiful starting curveball inside that freezes JT Realmuto by Charlie Morton as the 4th inning has kicked off in Philadelphia.
Detroit Tigers looking to keep this only at a 1-run lead.
And the inside pitch to Realmuto fouled away down the third base line as Charlie Morton has made quick work to get ahead of this count against JT Realmuto, one of the best catchers in the entire MLB.
Definitely one of the best pitchers. Right here we got 7 different teams played for in his career. 41 years old, is the 2nd oldest active player in Major League Baseball, only behind JV.
And shout out to Justin Verlander, was a very prominent figure in my childhood as Charlie Morton looks to send down JT Realmuto, and he does with the high cheese, getting him on strikes as Charlie Morton now is up to 2 strikeouts on the day. A beautiful 4-seam fastball, got him top of the zone. Beautiful piece of pitching right there on that at-bat by the veteran.
Love to see it from Charlie Morton. I think he has more gas in the tank than I was expecting, the way he's throwing the ball tonight and the way this fastball has been able to play.
And
96.
He starts Castellanos off with a fastball outside. Could have been a strike, the way that these close pitches have been called strikes over the course of the day. Yet to be seen, though, as Charlie Morton sets in for the 1-0 on Nick Castellanos as he sends one back to the screen, make it 0-2. 1-1. Sorry, I forgot that they didn't call that at a strike, even though it should have been.
Yeah, that guy was getting the call for Sanchez all game long so far. And Charlie Morton, 1-1 count. This would be nice to see Charlie Morton get out of this inning early.
Yes, I would completely agree with you, Nick. I would love to see Charlie Morton be able to fill that strike zone like he just did to make it 1-2 on Nick Castellanos, the doom and gloom power hitter that always is able to make it happen during a tragedy.
Yeah, for real.
He is throwing a waste pitch by Charlie Morton low in the zone, was not feeling like digging with the worms there on that low curveball.
Detroit Tigers really looking to get Castellanos here. Is that fastball kind of playing more?
Morton's 2-2. Got him on strikes as he sends Nick Castellanos fishing as he was reaching for that one in the dirt. A beautiful pitch by Charlie Morton. Curveball, low and center cut. Was able to get him just below the strike zone. A beautiful piece of execution right there.
Back-to-back Ks for Charlie Morton, the 41-year-old veteran. And I got to say, he is looking very good in a Detroit Tigers uniform.
And hopefully it continues with his first pitch to Brandon Marsh. Foul down the first base line. Make it 0-1 for Mr. Morton.
Love to see I'm loving the way this fastball is playing. These Phillies aren't able to catch up to it, which is kind of crazy at 95, 96.
As Brandon Martian already did some damage today as he waves at a changeup below the zone. Charlie Morton really has these hitters off balance now as he has found his rhythm here in the bottom of the 4th inning, already with 2 Ks on the inning, looking to take advantage of a early count against Brandon Marsh, who already has done some damage today with a double, as some damage is done to the worms in the dirt as he throws ball 1 to make the count 1-2.
Love to see this from Charlie Morton so far, as he's got a hard hit rate of 44% in July, but it's
Morton's
like
1-2 to Marsh. Got him on strikes as Charlie Morton retires the side, all on Ks, putting him down in the bottom of the 4th inning. Great stuff by Charlie Morton.
Kenny Rogers-esque, eh? I'm just kidding.
I'm going to come over there and I'm going to choke you out.
Charlie Morton balling right now, though, for the Detroit Tigers, as he looks re-energized after joining a true contender in the Detroit Tigers. Baltimore, I have no idea what was going on in their clubhouse this year, but I got to say, with all of the expectations and failing to meet those expectations, it was probably not the best clubhouse to be a part of. We know how close the Detroit Tigers are, not just, on the field, but off of the field as well, as Charlie Morton looks, re-energized as a Detroit Tiger. Have you been impressed with what you've seen so far?
I have absolutely been impressed from what I've seen so far. He has come out here and been this effective, reliable pitching presence that you hope that he was. Obviously, even putting him in the same breath as Kenny Rogers in comparison, which you didn't do, is a little aggressive. But if he is able to be that 3rd or 4th arm that you can give the nod to in the postseason, I think that does say a lot about this front office and their ability to make something out of relatively nothing.
Scott Walker, what you think?
I need to see a run from the boys here. I'm liking what we're seeing, but I need to see us take a lead. I'd love to see a homer from one of the boys. But I'm liking what we're seeing, keeping it close. Just got to win this game for the series.
Were you underwhelmed with the deadline?
I would have liked to see more. I mean, I feel like I really wanted a really good closing pitcher that we could have got. And I know we picked up a couple guys, but I don't think we got the guy. I think, a couple of guys on our roster definitely need to step up and do something.
Yep.
But I don't know. It's just this is our time frame to win a World Series, and I feel like we could have done a little bit more to pick someone.
Yeah,
else.
I'm with you. I was a little underwhelmed. I know Justin and I got into it yesterday as we talked about that they just didn't seem to have the urgency at this trade deadline.
Yeah.
One of the guys they did bring in, though, Charlie Morton, has pitched 4 innings, given up 1 run for the Detroit Tigers against one of the best lineups in all of baseball. Another guy they picked up, Chris Paddock, looked really, really sharp in his Detroit Tigers debut. So maybe this was a spot where Chris Fetter and A.J. Hinch got together and kind of circled some guys that maybe were undervalued and that they believed they could change a couple things within their game and get the best out of them, as I think you're seeing that right now
took
with Charlie
strike
Morton.
1 right there, a guy who is undervalued on this Tigers team as he steps in against Christopher Sanchez for the second pitch of his at-bat. Inside ball.
Andy Ibanez obviously here to crush lefties, just like Jahmai Jones. So Andy Ibanez putting a double down the left field line would be clutch here.
That would be clutch. The signature Ibanez as he fouls away 1-2, the signature pitch from Christopher Sanchez, that changeup on the outside part of the plate. As another person who is undervalued is Travis, our social media admin. Shout out to Trav. Just got one of our posts collaborated with Megatron. So shout out to Travis, my dog in the trenches. Ball low on Andy Ibanez from Christopher Sanchez.
Shout out Travis, absolute legend. Shout out all you guys on the social team continuing to crush it day in, day out. And shout out to the chat here. Thanks for joining us tonight on Tigers Live on the weekends as we get to see a heavyweight matchup in the Phillies and the
ball
Tigers.
low from Sanchez on Ibanez as he will bring the count full.
Full count here on Andy Ibanez. So, yeah, look for him to stay within the zone here. But that changeup has been working against the right-handers.
Yes, it has been working all night as Ibanez works against it. Chopper, a tough play from... Oh, a nice glove flip from Christopher Sanchez to Bryce Harper to retire Andy Ibanez. That will be the second beautiful highlight we've seen defensively from this game from either ball club.
Christopher Sanchez, I mean, what are we doing? This guy's playing just an absolute... great, defense from the pitcher right here as he has turned a phenomenal double play early in this game, and he gets the glove toss to get Andy Ibanez out as that changeup was outside, and he swung at ball four there, Justin.
Yes, he did swing at ball four there, but he is doing what the Detroit Tigers were a victim to last night, was the Phillies taking long, tenacious at-bats that put pressure on the pitcher to wear down his stuff, his pitch count, and Christopher Sanchez has a big pitch count as he brings a big strike in on Dylan Dingler to start him off in his second at-bat of the game. I would really love to see these Tigers start milking some of these at-bats to bring that pitch count up for Christopher Sanchez as he brings ball one below the zone to Dylan Dingler.
Dylan Dingler, a guy that can tie the game with one swing of the bat here if Sanchez is able to make a mistake.
And Sanchez looks, throws, Dingler, ground ball, third base side, foul.
Big spot for Dylan. I mean, obviously, Christopher Sanchez is just mowing down these Detroit Tigers hitters. And when we did have our one chance, Riley Green, big double play.
What are we thinking? A little change up here from Christopher Sanchez, low, right below the zone.
Yeah, probably
outside, trailing away from Dylan Dingler as Sanchez sets, delivers, change up, low and away as Trey Turner makes a few steps to his right and makes the play over to Bryce Harper for the second out.
Yep, Dylan Dingler rolls over that one.
Great call right there.
Yeah, I mean, that changeup is working. That righty, he is able to command the changeup and just pinpoint that pitch on the low and outside corner as we've seen. As we got a shout-out, Kool-Aid. Shout-out.
Yes, shout out to our Detroit Pistons beat reporter, Brandon Dent, also known as Kool-Aid. He is the best in the business, as so is Christopher Sanchez, as he has been rolling over these Detroit Tigers, as he has Wenzel Perez 0-1 to start off the switch-hitting right-hander.
Yup, Detroit Tigers got the one-run deficit. Shout out Kool-Aid in the studio. What up, No? You got any Tigers takes you want to get off?
What up, though, man? Hey,
let's go.
Best in the biz right here.
Shout out Kool-Aid. Always a pleasure to see. Absolutely crushing it with all of the Pistons coverage.
As Trey Turner puts away the Detroit Tigers in the top of the fifth inning, as Christopher Sanchez continues to roll through this Detroit Tigers lineup, as he has a extremely low pitch count, as he could be pitching very late into this ballgame.
Yeah, tough spot right now for the Detroit Tigers. And every single thing that you saw yesterday and the goodwill that they gave us with what they were able to do to Zach Wheeler, you are seeing none of that tonight by the Detroit Tigers. Zach Wheeler gave up 3 bombs to Tiger hitters yesterday. The Detroit Tigers are currently not able to see that Christopher Sanchez changeup at all. They are swinging and missing on this thing. They are inducing extremely weak contact against that pitch. And Christopher Sanchez is just mowing down Detroit Tigers hitters right now. Sad to see. Something's got to wake up and get this lineup a spark.
And I can't lie to you, Nick. Make sure you guys stay tapped in for the post game. But if we continue to get mowed down by the elite left-handed pitching that I was so worried about us against, I will not be a happy camper in the post game. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I won't be either there, Justin. I was pretty positive yesterday coming off the 7-5 win, but the way they're pitching today, or the way they're hitting today, it's not looking like it'll be a fun post game, we might have to break down some serious concerns about going up against an elite left-handed pitcher, which they are striking out a lot right now and not able to get, the damage done. So we'll break it all down here on Live Woodward Tigers Live, and make sure you guys smash that like button if you're just joining us.
And we appreciate you joining us, and make sure you join us for the rest of our coverage of Detroit sports and entertainment over your entire week. We have you covered from morning shows with Sean Belizian from 8 to 10, Big D Energy with Terry Foster, Neil Rule, and Darren McCarty. We have the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep at 2 to 4, and the Woodward Heavyweights, Easy and Spencer, give you the laughs and serious football talk that you desire, as well as Woodward Wings, which, check that out, dropped yesterday, and the Lions Weekly Update, which airs on Sunday morning, so that is also fresh. If you need to get your Lions fix, that is where you should get it, as Charlie Morton takes the bump to start off the bottom of the fifth to Max Kepler, swing and a miss, cutter down low, as he has continued to attack these Philadelphia Philly hitters.
Love to see this from Charlie Morton. I mean, he does truly look like a different pitcher with the Detroit Tigers than what we've seen in
Kepler
Baltimore.
swings on strike 2 to make it 0-2 against the veteran Charlie Morton.
Charlie Morton, the vet, going up against Kepler, 0-2. Look for that curveball. If he can get this ball down in the zone, see a little swing and miss here from Max Kepler.
That would be ideal for the Charlie Morton fan club, as away in the opposing batter's box for Charlie Morton, make it 1-2.
Big spot here for Charlie. 61 pitches for the Detroit Tigers starter.
And Morton's 1-2, all ball away.
Ball away. He was going with that changeup. Charlie Morton.
Skywalker, put a poll in the chat. I want you to put, should the boys be rocking suits or should they be rocking Tigers gear? 2-2 from Charlie Morton. Swing and a miss. Got Kepler swinging. He put the knee on the ground. Was not able to capitalize on a beautiful changeup thrown by Charlie Morton. His 5th strikeout of the day, as he is looking very solid in a Detroit Tigers uniform.
Yeah, it looks like Scott Harris might have cooked up a little bit of something with this Charlie Morton signing or trade. But you love to see it. I don't know if you can rely on Charlie Morton to be, an elite pitcher by any means, but he's going to have to eat innings for this Detroit Tigers team. To see him successful to start his Tiger career has been good to see.
As the first pitch in this at-bat is a ball to Edmundo Sosa. Charlie Morton looking to continue his solid outing with 64 pitches as he throws a 1-0 strike upstairs. Four-seam fastball gets Sosa swinging as the Philadelphia Phillies lead your Detroit Tigers 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning, and a unexpected pitching duel as the veteran arm of Charlie Morton continues to match Christopher Sanchez as Sosa sends a ball into the seats behind home plate to make it 1-2, continuing to put pressure on these hitters every single time they step to the plate, and that's all you can ask for from a guy like Charlie Morton.
Definitely. I mean, he's been bad so far this season, but 5.42 ERA, minus 0.4 WAR for Charlie Morton. So to see him so successful has been great to see as he gets
Sosa
that fastball.
fouls away another 1-2 pitch as Morton in another battle, as his whiff rate on his changeup has been in flux this entire season, down to 6% in the month of July. Hopefully he will be able to bring that back up. It looks like he has figured some things out in this outing in terms of his changeup. And shout out to Caseville Country Boy, drinking beer at the beach. You guys are keeping me informed on the Tigers. Keep it up. Best network and sports. Woodward, let's go, baby. We appreciate you so much.
Out.
You guys are what makes this network go, as Morton delivers another foul ball to Edmundo Sosa.
Right here for Charlie Morton, if he is able to go 6 innings, only giving up this 1 run, which he's currently at right now, it would be his 4th time doing so all season long. first as a Detroit Tiger would be great to see.
And I also appreciate your feedback as a ball up high to Charlie Morton.
We sure that's not Kenny Rogers?
I'm definitely going to be clowning you about that, even though you didn't say it. It's going. Anytime he's having any type of success, Kenny Rogers on the bump.
Kenny Rogers on the bump.
As Edmundo Sosa sends a foul ball into some diving Philadelphia Phillies fans.
Kaysville Country Boy, where's my boy Anson at? Anson will be back next weekend. Make sure you guys check out Woodward Tigers all season long. We got your best weekend content of anybody in any city breaking down the Tigers.
Charlie Morton deals another battled foul ball by Edmundo Sosa as he is putting the work in against Charlie Morton.
Definitely working it right here. 3-2 count. You don't want to see him get walked.
No, you do not. You do not want to lose him here as Morton's pitch comes in. High fastball. Got him on strikes as he makes Edmundo Sosa chase for his 6th strikeout of the evening as Charlie Morton is putting on a beautiful, beautiful masterclass at the moment for his season so far.
Charlie Morton changing up that eye level for hitters right now is to get to the fastball up to go along with that curveball that we've seen so much tonight down low. So love to see this from Charlie Morton as he gets a pop-up possibly out of the inning.
Pop up from Stott as Dingler ranges over to the Phillies dugout, bounces off the concrete and into the fans.
Love to see this so far from Charlie Morton. I mean, I'm extremely excited about the potential of Charlie Morton if this is what we're going to get.
Yes, and it's going to be interesting what we are able to see out of him as he is about to be back to the top of the order to see if he can do some things third time around or if A.J. Hinch starts to lean on that new bullpen as the 0-1 swing and a miss outside four-seam fastball, really making these hitters expand the zone. Exactly what you want to see from the crafty veteran.
Definitely. That fastball is working right there. It looked like it had some good run on it, and the Philadelphia Phillies are having a tough time catching up to the fastball right now. He just got the previous hitter on a fastball high. Do you go back to it?
I think he's going to it as he throws another outside fastball. Riley Green settles under it for the 3rd out of the inning for the Detroit Tigers, escaping another beautifully pitched inning by Charlie Morton, who has kept this dangerous Philadelphia Phillies team at bay so far today with his great pitching performance. Nick, how big would this pitching performance be for a guy's confidence level that has wavered this entire season?
I think it is extremely big. I think you think about Chris Fetter and what he's able to do with Charlie Morton. Obviously, you want to get staying in the zone. You never want to walk hitters. Charlie Morton's done a great job of that today. And the fastball is playing way more than I thought it would for the 41-year-old. I got to say, I'm extremely excited about what Charlie Morton's able to do for the Detroit Tigers. He's only given up 1 run to the Philadelphia Phillies through 5 innings. I think this team needs to now pick up their new pitcher and help them out with some runs.
100% still out there trying to prove that it is not an issue for the Detroit Tigers to be playing an elite lefty on the bump as they have been held to 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 0 runs from Christopher Sanchez, who has thus far dominated them on both sides of the plate, putting it to be abrupt as the 245 and sub 1-2 whip has come to bite the Tigers in this matchup. I am excited to see what Charlie Morton can give us as the Phillies top of the lineup comes up to the plate this next half inning. But for this half inning, we will see the bottom of the Detroit Tigers lineup starting with Javier Baez and then back to the top of the order as we will see the likes of Matt Vierling and Gleyber Torres hopefully able to capitalize on the third time through this order against Christopher Sanchez, who's cruising right now with 54 pitches. 40 of them have been strikes.
Yeah, Christopher Sanchez has been working this lineup as they have looked completely lost at the plate besides a couple hits. And yeah, Sanchez right there, swing and misses. He's got 11 of them, and that changeup low in the zone has just been so dominant against this Detroit Tigers team. But one of those guys that you just mentioned that's going to be batting here shortly.
Strike one to Javier Baez as Christopher Sanchez picks up right where he left off, pounding the zone with these changeups against these Tigers hitters, as we now set in for his second pitch. And Javier Baez sends it into center field, but it is playable for Brandon Marsh as he will retire Javier Baez in just 2 pitches.
That ball looked, I thought it was going to be a pretty good hit there for Javier Baez, but didn't carry the way I wanted it to. But I do like that he was attacking early. He was taking that big swing early in the count because, as we've seen so often today, if you get down to 2 strikes, it's not going to be pretty.
No, it will not. And a guy who has not had a pretty day today, Matt Vierling steps in, 0-0 low, 95-mile-an-hour sinker, about 2 balls outside the zone low to the veteran Matt Vierling.
Matt Vierling, big spot if he can get on base. Obviously, he's got pretty good speed. Try to stir something up, maybe steal a base, but Matt Vierling has looked lost.
Yes, he has, as Sanchez is able to get a nice piece out of Vierling right to Edmundo Sosa, who throws over to Bryce Harper for the second out of this 6th inning.
Yeah, Sanchez just making light work of this Detroit Tigers lineup, and Charlie Morton only giving up 1 run through 5 innings has done his part, but the Detroit Tigers clearly haven't on the offensive side of the ball.
And they are continuing to keep his pitch count low as he has been able to not put lots of pitches on his arm as Gleyber Torres pops his first pitch up, is carrying to the warning track, but Castellanos puts it away, and the Detroit Tigers are done for the 6th inning as they are down 1-0 to the Philadelphia Phillies. Sanchez continues to dominate this Detroit Tigers lineup, as Just a Fan puts it in the chat. Quote from Scott Harris himself: Tigers didn't need another right-handed bat. Was he correct? Thus far, it is looking like he is not.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Eugenio Suarez on this team would be dominant, and you're seeing today there's a guy that
would have been nice to have a guy who could change the game with one swing of his bat.
Exactly, and Gleyber Torres right there tried to just do so as he just came up short as he drove that ball to deep right field, just missing the home run parlay to cash for the boys. But, yeah, this team's in trouble when it's going against some elite pitching. As you're seeing right now, this lineup is getting picked apart. Skywalker?
It's looking like the chat is pretty split on that Suits and Tigers gear, but Tigers gear is up with 50% or 56% of the votes.
Love to see it. We'll break it down next time for you guys for sure. I almost wore my Detroit Tigers Sauna one, but I was like, we got to go back-to-back suits.
I like
look
the
sharp,
suits.
Justin.
Very official. I like it.
We got to be.
I enjoy wearing the suit, to
Same
be
here.
completely honest. And I believe that the starting pitching that Charlie Morton can bring to this bullpen this starting rotation suits this team, especially after seeing what Chris Paddock can do. I think I'm feeling a little bit better about the starting rotation, even though we have lost Olsen. I'm not going to be relying on the fact that he's coming back at any point this season with his injury. Can we get meaningful innings where it's not pitching chaos like it was last year for the Detroit Tigers between the arms of Paddock, Morton, and Mize? I sure hope so, and I think that it should be enough to make some noise in the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, this team is... We're in serious trouble here, Justin, going up against Sanchez in this one. I'm just going to tell you straight up. This team looks lost at the plate today. And Charlie Morton has done his part. No doubt about it. 6 strikeouts playing his last 9 batters faced. But I think when you think about this matchup and this being basically a postseason matchup is kind of what you're seeing between
Ball
two heavyweight
one from
teams.
Morton on the top corner of the strike zone, not called because Blues be missing calls like it's an iPhone, as Trey Turner sends a ground ball over to Ibanez, flip over to Spencer Torkelson as the first Philadelphia Philly is retired of the bottom of the 6th inning. Morton continuing to make quick work of this team.
Big time as Tyler Holton's warming up in the pen for the Detroit Tigers after he gave up, he had a lot of base runners on base on Friday night when he played the Philadelphia Phillies. So Charlie Morton would love to see him get out of the 6th here unscathed.
As the 0-0 Schwarber low and end did not get him to go there, as Schwarber, one of the premier power hitters in all of baseball, knows Charlie Morton very well over his time in Atlanta, as I have seen that pitch be called a strike. That's a ball, by the way. At least
Terrible.
5 times against the Tigers.
Terrible.
I think
this
alone.
ump has been all over the place with his zone today, and you got to give him that call.
And another high fastball, corner of the top of the box, not called. I have seen balls farther away that have been called strikes in this game.
Disaster zone from for the Detroit Tigers today as he gets a 3-0 green light.
As Schwarber 3-0 green light sends it to the right field corner. Going to be extra bases as Perez gathers, throws to second. Schwarber's in for a lead off, or a double to start this Philadelphia Phillies offense in the bottom of the 6th inning, as Chris Fetter is going to have a chat with Charlie Morton.
Yup, Chris Schwarber, 3-0 fastball up. Just puts an absolute missile on that one to right field. But I got to say, the zone there really screwed Charlie Morton. I thought the 2 of those should have been strikes. And when you get behind the 8 ball in a 3-0 count, obviously Schwarber's going to have the green light. And that's a spot where the ump completely messed with the odds.
There by the umpire. Shout out my dad. He said it in chat. The squeeze the umpire put on Charlie Morton when you are doing that to a guy who is pitching to Kyle Schwarber, who can take advantage of any pitch that is even remotely near the zone, especially in a sweet spot like that, up and dead center of the plate. He's going to make you play as the Philadelphia Phillies are threatening for another insurance run here, as we send Bryce Harper to first base on an intentional walk, making it 1st and 2nd, 1 out, bottom of the 6th inning, 1-0 as the Philadelphia Phillies lead your Detroit Tigers, as we are getting deep into Charlie Morton's first outing as a Detroit Tiger, as JT Realmuto steps in 0-0, low and away, curveball outside of the zone.
Rare to see the Detroit Tigers actually intentionally walk somebody. Bryce Harper, a guy to do it as we try to go for the righty-righty matchup to get that big double play.
I completely agree, as Realmuto grounds to Ibanez, able to flip it over to second, late over to first, as the Detroit Tigers will now have first and third, 2 outs, as Nick Castellanos will step to the batter's box to try and give the Philadelphia Phillies a much-needed insurance run, as that ball was definitely late. I would have loved Ibanez to just take that tag at third base and limit the damage. I do see the want to get the double play there, but I would rather prioritize getting that lead runner out.
Yeah, bad spot there from Andy Ibanez. That was a bad turn. That should have been an inning-ending double play.
As Morton deals to Castellanos, who sends a ball into right field. Wencel Perez appears to be under it. Makes a leaping grab over the wall. What a display of athleticism by Wencel Perez. Ranges over into the right field corner. Leaps over the wall. Snags it right in front of a fan. And the Tigers are able to escape the 6th inning clean. Still trailing 1-0 as Charlie Morton continues to give this Philadelphia Phillies lineup trouble. A great outing if it is done. But do you believe we will see Morton come out for the 7th inning?
I put him out there. I mean, right now, why wouldn't you? He's 41. You don't need to keep the arm fresh, I'll tell you that. 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 1 earned run. Hell of a debut for Charlie Morton, if that is the day for him. The Detroit Tigers need to now help him out by scoring some runs. But love to see A.J. Hinch masterclass and piece of work right there. You intentionally walk Bryce Harper. You allow Charlie Morton to go righty on righty to get the big double play ball. Andy Ibanez failed to turn it, but then gets the righty out right there as well. Love to see it from Charlie Morton as A.J. Hinch masterclass right there on how to maneuver going at a lineup.
And I think the biggest thing for Charlie Morton today is you didn't see him get hammered. There were a few hard hit balls, but their mistakes were limited. There were not many mistakes that he threw, and most of them were in the first 9 hitters of the game where he was still figuring out his stuff. All of his Ks came after the first 9 hitters in this start. So I think you are seeing him settle down, settle in, feel comfortable in his Detroit Tigers uniform. I would like to see him go out there and pitch to this bottom part of your lineup because I believe as he's pitching right now, he's showing more flash than what you would be seeing out of your bullpen. Coming out for the Detroit Tigers will be Jahmai Jones, Spencer Torkelson, and Riley Green. I would love to see some of these righties take advantage before Riley Green comes to the plate. I just do not love this matchup that he has against Christopher Sanchez, who has dominated thus far against the young superstar.
Yeah, this is a tough spot for the Detroit Tigers, but this is what you are going to have to deal with, and they need to get in a spot to maneuver and score a run here. Big spot. Jahmai Jones, you're in this game for a reason. It looked like he got a handshake there, Charlie Morton, from A.J. Hinch.
And Jahmai Jones sends a ball and finds Trey Turner's glove, but Jahmai Jones beats it out, getting the Detroit Tigers started. 1 runner on first base, no outs. Philadelphia Phillies lead 1-0 over your Detroit Tigers, hoping to see a gritty Tigers comeback from our fellas today.
Looks good. You got the leadoff guy on once again. Will the Detroit Tigers finally be able to pull this one out? Charlie Morton, 86 pitches, 6 innings, 6 Ks, 1 earned, 1 walk. Spencer Torkelson. Let's go.
Torkelson puts a charge into that one, and it drops in to left field as the Detroit Tigers are threatening with 2 runners on, no out for Riley Green, and this is where, although Riley Green struggles against lefties, you need him to take that next step. You need him to be the clutchest hitter on this team, and you need him to be able to make something happen. We will see if the success is there as Christopher Sanchez has been working that changeup in on Riley Green as he checks Jahmai Jones at second, delivers outside ball 1, sinker away, the toughest pitch for a lefty to hit.
I may have crashed out there if they would have called that a strike. So good to see Riley get rewarded for having a good eye on that one.
As Chris Sanchez continues to check Jahmai Jones, waves at a changeup. Riley Green not looking very comfortable on those pitches on the outside of the plate from the left-handed Christopher Sanchez. You can see on his damage zone as well how much he struggles on that outside corner of the plate. I would expect it to be more of the same. The 1-1 inside fastball going to get Riley Green, but both runners advance. It will be second and third. 1 out for the Detroit Tigers. We are just going to need to see some solid contact out of Andy Ibanez here to smack a run home for the Detroit Tigers.
You need it. This is the biggest spot of the game, obviously. Guy on second and third. We got Andy Ibanez, who is up here to crush lefties. Let's see if Andy Ibanez can recapture some of that magic of last season when he was a lefty killer.
As Ibanez steps in to do some damage, 1-0 as the changeup from Sanchez misses off the plate outside. Ibanez has been 0 for 2 thus far, hoping that we can see him capitalize on this runners in scoring position chance as he sends a ball right at third as he throws home and gets Jahmai Jones at the plate. The first rule of base running is do not run if the ball is hit to a corner when you're on third base. Apparently, we are forgetting the fundamentals here at the Detroit Tigers, and we are unable to. That is hit so hard. That is such a tough play to run on, and he just got gunned at the plate. Jahmai Jones with a rookie mistake, to say the least, as now the Tigers will be put in a 2-out high-pressure situation. Great play by the Phillies to adjust to. Jahmai Jones is running in the inside path and throw outside and bring the tag back home.
Just a freaking terrible mistake by Jahmai Jones. And Andy Ibanez, you're in here to crush lefties. You hit it right at the third baseman there. That was a big-time miss. And I want to see Andy Ibanez get that ball in the air, Justin, to at least get a sac fly availability. But he just hit that ball right to the third baseman.
Well, Dylan Dingler will need to cash in as he steps into a 1-0 changeup in the low portion of the zone. Call it a ball, 1-0 on the rookie.
Big spot for Dylan Dingler right here. He needs to take advantage. You are not going to get another opportunity like this. Dylan Dingler.
Christopher Sanchez looking for the advantage as he misses on a borderline changeup first call. He has not gotten with a pitch there.
Chilling under Vecna. That sucks, man. Yeah, that was a brutal play. I think the momentum, obviously, is on the Phillies side right here. Let's see if Dingler can cash in.
And Dylan Dingler looks at a 2-0 pitch outside, called 3-0. Hitting count here for Dylan Dingler. I would not expect him to have the green light as a rookie like Kyle Schwarber did.
Honestly, going up against a guy like Sanchez, I would let him. I would unleash Dylan Dingler right here if this is a fastball in, but it looks like they're staying away from him.
And Sanchez deals to Dingler. Strike outside border of the strike zone. Sinker looked very, very good from Christopher Sanchez as he looks to not lose Dylan Dingler on this 3-1 pitch.
Big time from Dingler. Let's go.
As
Come on, Rook.
Dingler sets in, ball low as Dylan Dingler gets the free pass from Christopher Sanchez, as that does not come often, as the bases will be loaded for Wencel Perez, one of the hottest bats on this team. Hopefully, we will be watching him capitalize on this great opportunity for this Detroit Tigers team.
Wencel Perez, the 25-year-old, just had a phenomenal play in right field, and the baseball gods have blessed him with a bases-loaded opportunity.
Looking to take advantage as he does with a 1-0 ball to start him off in this at-bat against Christopher Sanchez.
Wencel Perez currently hitting .978 against left-handed pitching in terms of his OPS, so it could be a spot to do some damage.
Yes, he does do some damage against left-handed pitching as he fouls away, putting some damage into that third base line, sending that ball foul.
That's one, obviously, over the heart of the plate. You got to be able to come up big on that one, and Perez wasn't able to.
Sanchez continues to be dominant with his 72 pitch count as he looks to work through this 7th inning, as the 1-1 to Perez hit on the ground. Trey Turner's got it. Force out at second base to Stott, as the Detroit Tigers have threatened twice in the past 2 innings and have failed to capitalize.
Terrible for the Detroit Tigers hitting today. That's unacceptable. You're not going to win games like this. Jahmai Jones, you're running to it out at home. Wencel Perez hitting a chopper to the shortstop when you got the bases loaded. Tigers coming up empty here after getting their first 2 guys on base once again. I think the biggest spot in that one, though, is Andy Ibanez not getting that ball elevated to the outfield to at least tie the game. Andy Ibanez came up empty. Dylan Dingler with a really good walk, but Wencel Perez also coming up empty. Big spot for the Detroit Tigers right there, and they were not able to capitalize on Sanchez's inability to, throw strikes right there. But tough spot for the Tigers. Are you feeling like this game is going how you envisioned for Sanchez going up against this lineup?
Yes, it is going exactly as I expected. I expected us to struggle all day because we still have struggles against really good left-handed pitching. And I think that you're seeing that today. It's unfortunate that we have to expose this issue right after the trade deadline. Maybe if this would have been a couple weeks ago, there might have been more of a consideration to go after a legit right-handed bat. And didn't even have to be Eugenio Suarez because Ryan McMahon has also stepped into the Yankees lineup and has been mashing, and he would have been extremely cheap to be able to go after.
Yeah, tough spot here for the Tigers. And I mean, these are the guys that they put faith into be able to hit lefties. And it's right there. You just saw it. One of the guys being Andy Ibanez with a big out in this inning. And then another guy was Jahmai Jones, who was actually able to get on base, but he did have the base running error. So tough spot for the Tigers here. There's no doubt about it. And shout out to everybody tuning in right now. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Super chats are welcome. We will read them on the show as we need a little bit of a comeback here for the Detroit Tigers. They find themselves down 1 entering the bottom of the 7th.
And entering the game will be Tyler Holton as the ball will now turn over to the Detroit Tigers bullpen, hoping for a good performance as they will have to be a catalyst of this team being able to come back, because with this Philadelphia Phillies team, if they start to take advantage of the weak at-bats that we are seeing from their hitting, we will be in trouble considering Sanchez's low pitch count.
Yep, no doubt about it. And we got AJ's lineup tonight is so weird. I personally probably wouldn't have started Matt Vierling in the 1 spot, but AJ Hinch has more faith in Matt Vierling than I do, obviously, as they try to get him back on track. But the Tigers have put themselves in position to actually score some runs. It's just when they were able to do so and get guys in scoring position, they just forgot how to hit. And I will continue to go back to the Andy Ibanez mistake there. That just clearly is. You have to be situational with your hitting. Almost had a crash out there, but and he wasn't able to do so. Skywalker, how you feeling?
Not what you want to see. Bases loaded, and we come away with nothing. It's just those opportunities running to home plate like that with a grounder to the corner. You can't be doing things like that. The Tigers are too good of a team with too talented of players to be making mental errors like that. So that is the last thing you want to see right now as a Tigers fan.
I'm right there with you. This is a tough spot right now for the Detroit Tigers as the Philadelphia Phillies have a 1-0 lead here.
As the Detroit Tigers will look to keep them at bay, as Harrison Bader will be checking in after we see Brandon Marsh at the dish against Tyler Holton, whose first pitch of his evening will be a sweeper, low and away. I actually had dinner with Tyler Holton one time at a Tigers season ticket party with my dad. He is an absolute beauty as he throws a beauty low in the zone that is stung by Brandon Marsh, but picked out of the air for out number 1 by Gleyber Torres.
Yeah, Tyler Holton, really good guy. I was able to talk to him earlier this season, and he said his ability with Chris Fetter, the way that he is able to really break down the game off of the field, sets him up for so much success as he was seeing the zone a lot better compared to earlier in the season when he did have his struggles. Tyler Holton was looked to be pretty locked in right now.
Tyler Holton's first pitch to Harrison Bader, fastball inside for strike 1.
Big key piece for this bullpen the last 2 seasons. One of the most reliable arms in all of baseball. I want to see that, Tyler, come out.
Inside low. Feeding the worms on that one as the count will go to 1-1 on Harrison Bader.
Big spot. Got to keep this at a 1-0 lead. The way that the Detroit Tigers are not able to, score runs right now. If this gets up to 2 or 3, they're looking cooked.
Yes, I do believe they need to stop the bleeding here as Bader sends one. Tough play by Ibanez, picks it off the ground on the light chopper and throws it over to Torque for out number 2 as 2 up, 2 down for Tyler Holton coming out of the Detroit Tigers pen today.
Love to see this from Tyler Holton, back-to-back early in the count out. So Tigers rolling with their first decision so far for the bullpen, which is probably the biggest question mark on this Detroit Tigers team right now.
And if Tyler Holton can come and take one of these premier setup roles, it will be so big for this Tigers bullpen that lacks a true lefty reliever that can have high leverage innings as he throws ball 1 to start off Edmundo Sosa as the 1-0 is upstairs. He did not go as 2-0 will be to Edmundo Sosa.
Yep, well, I got to be able to attack him here, Tyler.
As Tyler sets in, throws, hit to the screen, fouled away by Sosa as Holton throws a nice 88-mile-an-hour backdoor cutter to the Philadelphia Philly.
Holton looking good so far. Dylan Dingler looking like he's reading, seeing if Sanchez is looking in on his pitch.
As Holton delivers a fly ball by Sosa. Another diving catch by Riley Green. A full extension grab as he ranged to his left. Beautiful play by Riley Green. Get this man a gold glove.
Gold glove this man. Holy cow. Full extension Superman dive from Riley Green as he gets a phenomenal jump. That ball looked like it was going to drop 100 times out of 100 times, Justin. Riley Green said, hell no, not today. What an absolute great catch by Riley Green there as his second phenomenal catch of the game, and I am right there with you on the gold glove. Put it on him already.
Pulling out all the stops as Tyler Holton stops this Phillies offense from even getting started. 3 up, 3 down from Tyler Holton as he has continued to re-emerge as a very good option for this Detroit Tigers bullpen. How big would it be for Tyler Holton to continue to pitch this well down the stretch?
I think it would be super big for this Detroit Tigers team. It would be massive because they need him, and especially they need him to attack lefties, which he has been able to do so well in his Detroit Tigers tenure. And Tyler Holton, currently with a 3.69 ERA, but his career ERA is 2.53, as he has been one of the best pitchers in baseball coming out of the bullpen the last 2 seasons. He's even started games for this Detroit Tigers team. He's an extremely valuable piece, and I believe you're going to see more of that 2.19 ERA of last year compared to the 3.69 that he's pitched with this season. I think you can turn back the clock, and you can get some really quality outings out of Tyler Holton.
I sure hope so, because having that versatility for A.J. Hinch, like I said, being able to play those lefty matchups and righty is so big, and to have an actual lefty arm that can come out of the pen, be consistent. He has showed in the past that he can be that dude from the left side for this Detroit Tigers team. Hopefully that continues, as the Detroit Tigers will have to not continue what they have been doing so far in this game against Christopher Sanchez. They are going to have to find some way to fix these at-bats. They are not doing much. When they do, they are not capitalizing on high-pressure base-running situations, the error by Jahmai Jones, the not timely hits with runners in scoring position, as Javi does not wave timely on that one. Strike 1 on Javier Baez as Christopher Sanchez starts him off with a away fastball, as the 0-1 is a sinker away. Javier is now chasing into the opposing batter's box.
Yep. Not a good start for Javi. 0-2 count. I'm going change up away here, and
Yep.
I'm not putting it anywhere close to
I'm
the
not
strike
putting
zone.
it anywhere near anywhere except that outside corner, as I believe Christopher Sanchez will be feeling the same way. Ramuto sets up out there a little too far out on that changeup. Javier, thankfully, laying off the changeup in the opposing batter's box.
Thank God that he laid off of that one. I probably would have freaked out. Christopher Sanchez just dominating. Total 76 pitches in the 8th.
1-2 dominator pitch as Javier Baez grounds it to Trey Turner. Beautiful backhand stop from him as he throws it over to Bryce Harper to send Javier Baez back to the dugout, packing with no cigar.
Down to their last 5 outs here, Justin. They need to get something going, and they need to get something going quick. But I think the Detroit Tigers are in a very tough spot right here. Javi Baez tried to do damage on that changeup away and was coming up empty.
Here comes the top of the order as Matt Vierling steps in against Christopher Suarez. 1-0 to start him off. Slider in the dirt. Vierling has struggled today and in this series so far, hoping to turn around his year coming off of the IL as the 1-0 from Sanchez struck by Matt Vierling down the third baseline, foul as the veteran will reset outside the box. Couple practice swings. Sanchez collects himself as well. Vierling going to put some pine tar on the bat real quick. Get in that grip right to be able to put some work in on Christopher Suarez. Suarez's change has been dominant today. I would expect more changeups just outside the zone, forcing these hitters to continue to expand on this zone that he has commanded all game. It does exactly that. Change up low outside the zone. Matt Vierling might as well be swinging a golf club trying to hit that in the dirt.
I've never seen a wrist guard like that. You see that from Matt?
I
Very interesting.
do see that as he sees a 1-2 changeup outside the zone. He extends on that one. Could have given him an or on that one. He's not swimming his way out. And that will be strike 3 for Matt Vierling as he will be 0 for 4 on the day.
I think you can, we got ESPN as the Tigers are on Sunday Night Baseball, as I think you can honestly say A.J. Hinch's decision to put Vierling in the 1 spot was highly questionable.
It was questionable. A questionable call on that one. 1-0 changeup in the zone called a ball by this umpire. Finally giving some love to our Detroit Tigers as Sanchez is trying to take away our soul. As Gleyber Torres takes ball 2 away, and a frustrated Sanchez as he wants to appeal that one over to the first base umpire, shakes his head, puts his head down, and is looking to get back to work.
He did not swing that bat there. We got an umpire timeout, it looks like there. But Gleyber Torres 2-0, Justin, can tie this game up with one swing of the bat.
And here he is. Gleyber Torres looks for the 2-0 from Sanchez. Ball in play, up the middle, diving play by Stout. And he throws it over to first. A Stout play by Stott as Bryce Harper picks it off the dirt to retire the Detroit Tigers in the top of the 8th inning, giving Sanchez a slap on the hand as he passes by. A beautiful defensive play by Stott, extending. Great defensive plays have been all over this game, littered in every inning, as the Detroit Tigers will need to find some success against a power arm, whether that be Sanchez or Duran coming out of the pen if they do choose to go that direction.
Tough spot for the gritty Tigers right there as Gleyber Torres tried to get a beat up the middle, but one of the best defensive plays that you'll ever see from a second baseman going up the middle right there. And tough spot for the Tigers as they find themselves down 1-0 entering the bottom of the 8th as Tyler Holton was able to have a good shutdown 7th inning after a Charlie Morton masterclass. But they're
And you know
never
what
going
they
to win
say
it.
about Charlie Morton and Tyler Holton? They are fighters, and let Ven Johnson fight for you, as you need to go to venfights.com if you are in need for an attorney. He is a tenacious trial lawyer. He is one of the best in the state of Michigan, so make sure if you need a lawyer, call Ven Johnson Law. He will take care of all of your needs today, just like we are hoping the Detroit Tigers are able to do for us as we continue this broadcast on Woodward Sports, as the Philadelphia Phillies will send Stott, Turner, and Schwarber to the plate to face. Who do you believe will be coming out of the Detroit Tigers bullpen?
I'm putting Tyler Holton back out there for the 8th, Justin. I think he looked phenomenal there in the 7th, and I think going up against some of those lefties that he's going to see is a good spot for Holton, but I'm not sure if they officially have made the move yet. But we got Simo in the Woodward Sports chat says, on AJ, ? He's not swinging the bat, LOL. Yeah, but he's putting a guy in Matt Vierling in the 1 spot, and he's just came up empty today. I just think it's a questionable move from AJ Hinch. I tend not to ever question AJ Hinch, but when he does something like that, I think you have every single right to do so.
I believe you do, but you look at the lineup today, and there's not a lot of consistent hitting there, so it's kind of hard to put someone on that pedestal like you need to be in that 1 spot. But I can tell you what, Matt Vierling leading off this team in the playoffs is a disaster, as Tyler Holton continues his masterclass of a day as he gets Stout to pop up to Gleyber Torres. The Detroit Tigers looking to continue to come back as they are down 1-0 to the Philadelphia Phillies in the bottom of the 8th inning, as Trey Turner will come to the plate against Tyler Holton, who is looking to keep the seal on this game, as Trey Turner takes a 1-0 changeup just below the strike zone. Trey Turner is a fantastic low inside hitter and outside the plate hitter, shooting stuff to right field, as that ball is shot outside by Tyler Holton in the opposing batter's box. 2-0 for the right-handed all-around hitter in Trey Turner, as he fouls away a cutter mid-cut, as looking to battle his way back into position on base against the Detroit Tigers. The Detroit Tigers still down 1-0 as they are looking to come back, as Trey Turner waves at a 2-1 changeup. Now make it 2-2 as Tyler Holton put in the pressure on the Philadelphia Phillies coming out of that pen. The 2-2 swing and fouled away back to the cage behind home plate.
We got Dante 151. Shout out with the super chat. Smash that like button.
And we will read that after this 2-2 from Tyler Holton, as he looks to retire Trey Turner, and he does. Strike 3 called. Slider inside. Gets the great Trey Turner on strikes there. A big strikeout for Troy.
Tyler Holton, shout out. Yeah, big strikeout there for Holton. Love to
Troy
see
Melton
it.
for a second.
Yeah. Which they have high expectations for Troy Melton. When they talked about him moving to the pen being a guide, watch out for Troy Melton, as Holton is able to get the first strike on Kyle Schwarber. As Holton is looking like the pitcher from the last 2 seasons tonight,
Yes,
Justin.
he is. He is making the strides that you look for from a guy like Tyler Holton, as he starts Kyle Schwarber with a nasty sweeper to go up 0-2 on the slugging DH for the Phillies. The 0-2 swung on and hit hard into center field. Vierling looks up, and that is gone. Kyle Schwarber puts a dagger of an insurance run into the center field bleachers off of Tyler Holton. 435. A brutal bounce for this Detroit Tigers team that has been struggling to put runs on the board.
I think Kyle Schwarber was like plus 250 to hit a home run. I don't think I've ever seen a home run odd so low. But it wasn't for Tyler Holton. It was for Charlie Morton. But he just took Holton deep. I will say I think I may have jinxed him a little bit. But Kyle Schwarber is one of the best hitters in all of baseball as he just annihilated that baseball. But it looked like he barely even swung the bat.
And Harper fouls the first pitch of his at-bat off of his foot. And shout out to Dante151. I mean, if we lose 1-0 in a game like this, I won't be mad. It's against the Phillies who are trying to get ahead of the Mets. Let's go Tigers. We can get a run in this 9th inning. Now, we will obviously need to with that home run. As you can see, Duran is extremely pleased with that insurance as Bryce Harper puts another drive into that baseball. Sliding catch by Winsel Perez as they are able to limit the damage against Tyler Holton. But the Phillies do score 1 run off of the Kyle Schwarber bomb, giving them a 2-0 lead going into the 9th inning where we will be facing Duran out of the Phillies bullpen.
Fat Butters says, I'm so done with Holton. Holton gave up a home run to one of the best hitters in all of baseball.
That entrance is nuts.
What?
Duran's entrance. They're showing it right now.
Oh, damn.
That's
sick.
That's aura right there. That's sick.
For sure. Wow.
That's nuts.
That's a little scary.
That is scary. That is intimidating. Like, that is intimidating. Like, I am not going to lie. Everyone is going crazy right now. They got the lights. This is how you bring in a closer. Like that's why I wanted someone who was like that dude
like
in the
that.
back of the pen who comes out and you're like, look at this guy. He's about to go strike out the side with piss and vinegar. That's what I wanted. Got Kyle Finnegan.
Kyle Finnegan, 4-out save yesterday. Definitely not the aura of Duran here, but
if Finnegan is able to be an effective relief pitcher coming out of the back end of that bullpen, the aura does not matter. Let's get that clear. But when you have aura and you are as good of a pitcher as Duran, he is everything as advertised.
Phillies gave up 2 top 100 prospects. You typically do not see that as a trade to get a reliever, and Duran is one of the best in the game here as the Philadelphia Phillies obviously made the big upgrade. And the Detroit Tigers have a very, very tall task in trying to put up 3 runs here in the top of the 9th to give them, to be in a position to save this game. But got to say, it's feeling like it's going to be a shutout here, Justin.
It is not looking too great for the Detroit Tigers, but a guy who has some experience having big moments off of big right-handed relief pitching arms, that will be Kerry Carpenter, as he will step to the plate to face Duran as the first hitter for the Detroit Tigers, as Jahmai Jones will take a seat for the right-hand specialist, Kerry Carpenter. Shout out to Sideless5339 for the $5 super chat.
Shout out.
We've been doing this all year. The issue is we blow the first game, so it looks worse, but our bats usually dry up in the third game of the series. It's not good. You can't be consistently drying up in series, especially when you get into high-leverage series such as this one in the postseason.
Yep, Kerry Carpenter here going up against the righty. I like this spot for Kerry. If you can get on base early, get some pressure on Duran.
And Duran starts off Carpenter with a 101 fastball outside in the opposing batter's box as Kerry Carpenter comes in as the illustrious right-handed killer. 2 Giants facing off from each side of their respective rubber and plates as Carpenter takes a 2-0 pitch to get himself in a good spot against the dominant closer.
Kerry Carpenter, one swing in the back. And
as Carpenter swings at the 2-0 fastball, center cut, just misses it, sends it into the bleachers.
I got to say, I got a lot of faith in Kerry Carpenter going up against right-handed pitching. He showed it over his last 2 years, and he is the most feared hitter probably along with Riley Green against righties on this Detroit Tigers team. So Love to see him just stay within his own zone here, though, because getting a walk would be clutch to get him on base.
As Kerry Carpenter looks to capitalize on the hitter's count, steps away as Duran calls Realmuto to the bump to discuss. The pitch comm seems to be having some failures at the moment. Coming in and replacing that as we speak. This is the issue with these new pitch counters, but they do allow for there to be no sign stealing. So if you are a team in the AL, it does benefit you.
Yeah, having a really tough time with this one so far. Must be allowed in Philly, but Kerry Carpenter, he's ahead with a 2-1 count here. And like I spoke on, it would be clutch to just get him on base so we can get the tying guy to come up to the plate and get Duran under some pressure.
And Duran has been plenty battle-tested in his career with Minnesota. Shout out to all the love and chat as Kerry Carpenter swings through a 102 fastball up in the zone as the Detroit Tigers are threatening their livelihoods at the moment.
102.4 miles an hour there, Justin. That is a dominant reliever.
As the 2-2 to Carpenter's grounded over to second base, that will set him aside as the closer, Duran, has made quick work of Kerry Carpenter.
Tough spot down in the final 2 outs here, Justin. This is not looking good for the Detroit Tigers going up against the Philadelphia Phillies, as in the first game of the series, their bullpen just blew the game. The Detroit Tigers, that is. Last night, they were able to shut it down with Finnegan, but today, the bats not able to pull it up.
Yes, and hopefully they do wake up as Spencer Torkelson sends a ground ball over to third base, and Mondo Sosa takes his time, overthrows Bryce Harper as Spencer Torkelson is able to reach on an error, giving the Detroit Tigers some life in this matchup, as now the turn will go to Riley Green as he will face a righty in a true test of strikeout or home run.
Big time for Riley Green here, and he's going up against the righty. Are they challenging this ball?
This is... Oh, no way.
That is fucking incredible.
He is out.
He is out.
He is out.
What
And
an
the life
unbelievable
from the Detroit Tigers is about to be taken away, as that looks and appears that Bryce Harper did... Oh, that is so close. Oh, my God.
What an unbelievable show
What
of
a play by
athleticism
Bryce
from
Harper.
Bryce Harper.
Oh, my God.
To come down on the base after looking down,
Yeah,
he
he's
beats
out.
him. Wow.
He's out.
I'm
Wow.
going to take this runner off the base because, yeah, I'm with you. I believe he
I
is
think
out.
he's out.
Holy.
As he is out, as Riley Green will now step to the plate with no one on and 2 outs, as the Detroit Tigers are down to their last out of the 9th inning. Will Riley Green be able to extend their chance to win this game?
Riley Green here. You would have loved to see him for Spencer Torkelson on first base, but this just... Everything's going Phillies in this one.
Yes, it is, as Riley Green swings through the 0-0 offering, make it 0-1, four-seam fastball blown by him at 1-0-1.
Tough spot for Riley Green.
Riley Green hoping to battle through the high heat of Duran as he throws a strike that is called a ball. Riley Green gets away with one there, as that was a strike according to the strike zone on the broadcast. Ball number 2 to Riley Green, 2-1 on the Detroit Tigers all-star left fielder as he steps in to do some damage off of the power righty. Swing and a miss. 2-2 from Duran is swung through. Could feel the wind in center field on that whiff from Riley Green.
Yeah, big time swing and miss there as he looks light on that fastball and he's not seeing it well.
And the 2-2 payoff pitch fouled off by Riley Green as he sawed him off on that one.
Sawed him off. 2-2 count here for Riley. Just need to get on base so we can get that tying guy back up to the plate as Duran is throwing just missiles over here at 102 and 103 miles an hour.
As he looks to put Riley Green and the Detroit Tigers away. The payoff pitch, 2-2. Got him on strikes as the Detroit Tigers lose 2-0 to the Philadelphia Phillies. And a very, very light day from the Detroit Tigers hitting production as they finish with 5 hits, multiple guys stranded on base in multiple innings as the Phillies have come out and dominated the Detroit Tigers with their pitching today. Riley Green sat down to end the game as this Philadelphia Phillies team has given you a taste of October.
Just a disgusting performance from the Detroit Tigers bats today, Justin. This one was a very tough game where the Tigers came up empty. In every big situation that they were in tonight, they were not able to capitalize on Sanchez or Duran there. And this team is going to see some tough lefties in the postseason, Justin, and you just got absolutely dominated by one today. I thought the inability to do damage with guys in scoring position and some of the swings that they were taking were the wrong approach in a guy like Andy Ibanez and a guy like Jahmai Jones when he was running into the out at home. It was simple mistakes in this one where I just feel like the Detroit Tigers needed to do a better job of manufacturing runs, and they were unable to do so today.
What do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about the performance by Charlie Morton? Do you want to talk about the domination by left-handed pitching that we saw from Christopher Sanchez? Or do you want to talk about how bad the right-handed batters were today outside of Spencer Torkelson and Jahmai Jones?
I think I'm going to go with Charlie first because I know we're going to go a lot of negativity coming up here. So I got to just hit on Charlie Morton. 6 innings of great baseball out of the newest addition to the Detroit Tigers today. And I think Charlie Morton was able to show a lot with that lively fastball that I didn't think he still had in his arsenal to go along with that filthy breaking ball from Charlie Morton. I think you have to feel very confident and comfortable with the 2 additions throughout their first 2 starts in Charlie Morton and Chris Paddock. The Detroit Tigers added 2 reliable veterans to this Detroit Tigers team, and it looks like Chris Fetter and the staff is going to get the best out of them.
Yeah, I do agree on that point that Fetter will be getting the best out of these guys. I think that these are moves that have the ability to reach a ceiling that will be a benefit for this Tigers team down the stretch. Where I do struggle is where you do get into those inconsistencies this starting rotation does have. But in regards to today, Charlie Morton really put on a great performance, especially after he found his groove after the first 9 hitters. He really came out dealing, was making hitters expand the strike zone. It's exactly what you would have wanted to see out of Charlie Morton in this outing. I have no complaints about what Charlie Morton gave you. I said if he can give up less than 3 and give you a chance to win, that's a quality start for him. I think that if you are able to parlay that into some consistency, I would be extremely happy moving forward about Charlie Morton being the 3rd or 4th starter of this rotation.
Yeah, great to see for the Detroit Tigers in terms of their pitching, but obviously they were unable to hit today, so we have to turn it a little bit negative. But before that, we had a Super Chat shout outside Les. Get Right series against the Twins coming up. We were given a 37% chance to win today. Going in today, Vegas never gave us a chance. The Detroit Tigers should have won this game, Justin. I'm just going to come out and say it. This was a missed opportunity from the Detroit Tigers and their inability to hit. From what you got out of Charlie Morton, on paper, it wasn't supposed to be a win, but the way that this game played out, I mean, the hitting just was not there. and the Detroit Tigers' inability to get big clutch hits was the biggest reason why they lost. And to me, it is a little bit concerning when you think about the elite level of pitching you're going to see in the American League.
No doubt about it. I think that our worst fears were realized, or if you were me, they were confirmed, because I was very adamant, especially yesterday, about the inability of this team to finish out this season with enough power from the right-hand hitting side. It does give me concern, especially when, most teams in the American League have a very good left-handed pitcher. And if they don't, they have some good left-handed bullpen arms. I think it does give teams an avenue to be able to go right out and challenge this team even when Tarik Skubal is on the bump. Because if you are getting that against Christopher Sanchez, who I will say is very good, but he's not elite. And the elite category has very few names. It has Tarik Skubal, it has Max Fried, it has Paul Skeens, and I think that just outside is Christopher Sanchez, and that's why I think it worries me so much, because he isn't a guy who has the pedigree of some of the pitchers you're going to be facing in the postseason when you do get there.
Yeah, I mean, even if you want to throw Boston comp in here, if they slide into the playoffs and get hot, you think about Crochet getting matched up against a big lefty. You got to think about Framber Valdez. You got to think about Max Fried. There are going to be a lot of elite lefties that we're going to have to play against in the American League. And for this Detroit Tigers team to ultimately be successful, they have to come up big on those situations and scenarios where they get guys on base and guys in scoring position. And today it was just so apparent that they were not able to come up with the big hit. I thought they were cooking in that sixth inning there when they had guys, obviously bases loaded, they stranded the bases loaded. But before that, even having guys on second and third with just one out and being unable to capitalize is the biggest difference in this one. And the Tigers didn't add that elite bat like we all wanted them to. But it's games like this that give me a little bit of pause when we are going to go into the American League against, like the teams that I mentioned. So the Astros, the Blue Jays, Yankees, Boston, like whoever it is, you're going to have to go through elite pitching. And that scares me today.
My issue with this lineup as well is there is no true lead-off hitter. There is no table setter for this team. Gleyber Torres is a great piece to be hitting in your two-hole, but it is so inconsistent in that one spot. They've tried so many guys there, and nothing has worked. Today, we were talking about it. Matt Vierling, with his 500 OPS, is leading the game off against one of the best pitchers in the NL. I don't think that is in any sorts okay. I think that it shows the true issues of this roster, where the cracks are, because to be completely honest, and Matt Vierling has done some great things for this roster over the past 2 years, what have you done for me lately, though?
Yeah, it's concerning. I mean, there's no other way around it. Matt Vierling shouldn't be hitting leadoff for this team. And you know what, Justin? I am running out of at-bats to give to Matt Vierling. I'm at that point right now. I think you gave him a long run. He had to deal with the injury, so you want to try to recapture some of the magic of last season. But I'm giving him another week or two to try to get back on track. But at some point, he's unplayable right now. He truly is. Do you have any faith in Matt Vierling moving forward, Skywalker?
Given his recent performances, it's hard to have any faith in him. It's just there's no consistency anymore. We need to see consistency. It's not what the Tigers need right now, and it's not really acceptable for the Tigers.
Yeah, the inconsistent ability to hit the ball, Matt Vierling has struggled, and I think you saw the inconsistencies from all of the Detroit Tigers today. When there was a guy on first and second, what did Riley Green do? Big double play against the lefty. You saw Spencer Torkelson look at a changeup middle when he had some guys on base to do damage to a baseball. You saw Andy Ibanez ground out to third baseman when he was in a big spot to go up against the lefty and to do damage against that lefty, and he failed to do so. And the inconsistent at-bats today are the biggest reason why the Detroit Tigers lost this one 2-0 as they lost the series to the Philadelphia Phillies and one that I thought that they should have won.
And we get some chats in here I think that are relevant. Cole Keith leadoff was great yesterday. Chilling Under the Vecna said that, he was great yesterday, but that is the first time that he has really shown you that he can be a productive leadoff hitter. And he can't do it against lefties, and neither can Meadows, who's also being brought up. Meadows has been a shell of himself this year, which is really sad because he was showing a lot of great promise in the second half of last year as he picked up his bat and was able to consistently be a positive on this team. I do agree he is better than Veerling, and I would rather have him in center field, but right now Meadows is struggling to stay healthy, which is another issue for this Tigers team, is there are a lot of guys who cannot stay healthy.
Yeah, I think you think about Parker Meadows hopefully getting back healthy, but I don't really have much stock in him right now because he can't swing the bat. And when Matt Veerling's not swinging the bat, that's why I talked about earlier in the show with Javier Baez is going to probably have to play center field for you come postseason if you can get some of these elite prospects up like a Kevin McGonigal to come up and play shortstop for this team. They need to continue to be raking at Double-A ball, though, before getting the call to Toledo. And I think that's probably what you're going to see if this team wants to hit in the postseason. They need to have Javier Baez playing center field, and you need one of those elite prospects, hopefully McGonigal, to be playing shortstop.
I do think that there is a lot of validity to that, to be completely honest with you, especially with the production that you've been able to get out of Javier Baez from the plate this year. I think that he's also shown you he could play just as good, arguably better center field than Wenzel, than Veerling, and that's where I think that is going to be an option that is explored by management as we do come down the stretch here into the second half of the season. And we are going to kick that off in the next series against the Minnesota Twins, who we have done extremely well against this year. They just sold off half their roster as well. Do you feel confident that we're going to get ourselves back on track with this next series against the Minnesota Twins?
Nothing like playing at home, Justin. I think it'll be good to get back to Comerica Park. You got Casey Mize going Monday night. He's had a few tough outings back to back. So want to see Casey Mize really bounce back against the Twins lineup that, like you said, sold off a lot of players. We got Tuesday, Chris Paddock on the mound, looking to put together back-to-back great starts. And then Wednesday we get Jack Flaherty. Hopefully he can work on the good Jack and work off of that, what we saw from him the other day, as Jack Flaherty was dominant Friday night against a really good Phillies lineup. So I do expect, this might be crazy to say, but I'm expecting a sweep here.
I don't think that's crazy to say at all, especially with the way the Twins just sold off their entire roster. I think this is a crucial stretch for the Detroit Tigers as they face some weaker opponents as they gear up to play the Astros in a week or two. They play Twins, White Sox, Angels, and then the White Sox again, and then the Twins again. So hopefully they will be able to feast on the weakness that this AL Central Division is, and will be able to put themselves in a position to continue to scrap and claw for that number one seed in the playoffs. Shout out to Dante151 for the $4.99 super chat. Unk still has it. Good job, Charlie Morton. Tough loss, though. Oh, well, we can bounce back and sweep the Twins starting tomorrow with Mize on the hill.
Would love to see it. Shout out Dante151 for the super chat. And shout out to all of the chat for watching us tonight, as we appreciate all of you guys smashing that like button. Super chats are great. And we appreciate you guys hanging out with us on a nice Sunday night baseball, even though the Detroit Tigers didn't want to do their job, and that was score some runs.
Yes, they did not score some runs, but you know who will score for you is Woodward Sports. Make sure you tune in tomorrow as we have our regular lineup of shows from 8 to 7. Make sure you tap in all day, as the Tigers did not tap in on the scoreboard at all as they continued their struggles against left-handed pitching. I do think that it is a big issue, and I don't want to keep beating a dead horse down. When you look around the American League and you see the elite hitting lineups that a lot of these teams have against both sides of the plate, let's play my favorite exercise, Nick. Who is that leadoff hitter for your competition? Are you ready?
Let's run it.
All right, for the Houston Astros, their leadoff hitter is Jeremy Pena. Would you say that is better or worse than Matt Vierling and Colt Keith?
He's better.
All right, let's go to the Red Sox, as the Red Sox have Rob Rensnyder as their leadoff hitter. Is he better or worse than Colt Keith? And
I'm taking Colt against the righty.
That is fair, but we are talking about a guy who is not a specialist. He is hitting 849 OPS, and he plays against both sides.
Colt's been hot against righties. Let's put that
Colt
out
is
there.
as hot as a piss missile lately in terms of playing against the right-handed side of the bump, but he has not been hitting the left side of the bump very well. All right, let's continue on my favorite game of let's compare the lineup to our competition. The Toronto Blue Jays have Nathan Lukes as their leadoff hitter. I think that's actually a toss-up. That's the Blue Jays, by the way. What do you think about Lukes from Toronto?
1.1 WAR outfielder.
He is also
lefty.
a specialist. So the Blue Jays are in the same boat as the Tigers. They have a specialist as their table setter, which is why
I'm going Colt Keith, though.
I think they are the biggest fraud in the American League.
The Jays?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that their hitting will see through like the Tigers will. They just don't have enough. They don't have enough power. And that's where I think the Tigers land. All right, let's play Texas and the Mariners. Texas leads off with Josh Smith, and the Mariners lead off with Randy Arozarena.
I'm taking Arozarena for sure. He is a dangerous hitter. And
dude, that is a nuts starting lineup.
Josh Smith.
I'm gonna read this order for the Mariners when you're ready.
Oh my God!
And I'm gonna blow your mind.
Let's hear it.
All right, we have leading off Randy Arozarena. We have in the 2-hole Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, Josh Naylor, Eugenio Suarez, hitting 5th, by the way.
Yeah, that's a great lineup for the Seattle Mariners, who have continuously
they've
choked, but they went and bought. They really went for it. I expect the Mariners probably to be the Detroit Tigers' biggest competition.
They have
the postseason.
8 hitters who are hitting above 750 OPS in their lineup tonight.
That is insane.
That
Shout
is
out Dante,
utterly
151.
ridiculous.
I know it's early to call the Tigers go after Johan Duran in the winter meetings, ? If they did that, that'd be super awesome. Also, Schwarber has 38 home runs. The Phillies just gave up 2 top 100 prospects. They're not trading him.
Yes, and he's on his 2.5 years left on his deal. That's why the Phillies wanted to acquire him, because he had the term in his deal. And we have had a great term with you guys, hanging out with you all today, as Woodward Tigers Live has been in full effect. We appreciate all the support from everyone, the super chats, the likes, the subs. We appreciate it all. You guys make this show happen, and we enjoy giving you this extensive Tigers coverage that we bring you every Saturday and Sunday. So make sure you stay tuned for that next weekend, as they will be giving you all the action for the series with the Los Angeles Angels.
Make sure you also tune into all of our social media on, X, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube shorts, everything that we're doing. We're going to be putting it out, and I'm hoping to be actually at Comerica, getting to talk to some of these players tomorrow, Justin. So stay tuned for all of the best interviews and most exclusive Detroit Tigers coverage.
Yes, for all your best coverage, make sure that you follow Nick on socials at Nick Kohloff, and
Shout out.
follow me for the best Wings coverage in
Big time.
Michigan as we embark on a hopefully not disappointing season. But you know it's not disappointing, you guys out there. So make sure you guys have a great rest of your night, and make sure you tap in all day with Woodward Sports tomorrow as they have your coverage all day, every day, for 24/7, 365 days a year. And we will catch you in the next time. From Justin, from Nick, shout out to Skywalker. Extra
Shout
thanks for him in the
out.
TD booth.
MVP.
He really held it down for us. But most importantly, you guys are the real MVP. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Streams ended.